Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Call of Duty Challengers Elite. My name is Bryce and we're bringing you all the knockout stages for Stage 2 here in the season. And it's been a little while since you saw us, but we are back. Joining me again once more, of course, it's going to be Tun and Ellen. Tun, how are you?
Bryce, I am just happy to be back casting some Call of Duty. It has seemed like a very, very long time since we were, of course, on the mic together with Ellen, but very excited to jump into the playoffs this side of things. Of course, we seen what happened last time around. This is the business end of the season. Excited to see who comes out on top.
Yeah, 100%. Ellen, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. Like you said, it feels like it's been forever, right? I'm really excited to be here. Excited to see the conclusion for Stage 2, and also kind of excited to hear you and Tun go at it a little bit. You guys crack jokes on each other?
Yeah, pretty much we do. And it's something everybody misses, right? It's me and Tun have a great relationship. I acknowledge its existence sometimes. But before we get into how we're all doing and how much fun we are, let's kind of take you through everything that has been happening so far in this one. This is our bracket, the knockout bracket in which we are currently in the European region. First of all, Obtained played Elite 2 just a little while ago off stream. You may have caught it on the High Hold Shifts channel, but they took down Elite 2 pretty easily. Then we had a bit of a grudge match once more time. It was Auglis versus Connect 4. Last time around they played, was Connect 4 able to get the upper hand, but this time Auglis took them down 3-1. That, of course, leads us into our winners round 2 game, which is going to be Obtained versus Auglis. And then in the elimination round, Elite 2 and Connect 4 will be battling to try and stay alive in this one, Tun.
Yeah, and it's just really set up in a kind of way that, well, we expected, because it was the unexpected. The whole of the season, results backwards and forwards, outside of Passion, of course, who went that 7-0. But everybody beating everybody, nobody really getting a good idea of who was near the top for me, personally, when I was watching. I didn't have a clue. I was thinking, well, who is the third, fourth, fifth best team here at the moment in time? We're not 100% sure. Even outside of these guys, the top 2 teams, obviously outside of Passion, everybody else very, very close. So interested to see how it goes down, but we know these 2 teams are well-versed. They know each other well as well, but I don't know, Bryce. I think Obtained and Auglis, Elite 2 and Connect 4, all 4 very, very good teams. Any of them could come out into tomorrow's bracket.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the great thing about Challengers Elite, right? Is when you get into this, they've all qualified to be here. They're all very good players and teams, all looking to make a name for themselves, Alan. Is there anyone in that kind of lineup that sticks out for you?
The team that sticks out for me, actually, that I've been looking at is Obtained, otherwise known as Team Moon. This is kind of like a dark horse team. You know, like Tun said, it's hard because all of these teams are fairly matched. But when it comes to this Obtained esports roster, they beat Los Galacticos 3-0, who's currently sitting, obviously, to play tomorrow in that upper half of the bracket there. And then they actually almost beat Passion. So I feel like this team has the potential to take it all, if you will. But it's really hard, like Tun said, to say because they're all so evenly matched. But with this team, I feel like they're a sneaky team because you just never know what's going to happen with them. And again, they almost beat Passion. They 3-0'd Los Galacticos. So if any team were to do it to make it through that pit, I feel like it would be Obtained.
All right, I think that's a good point to make. Well, we'll have to see exactly how they get on as we go through. Let's take a little look now at our schedule to show you exactly what you can be expecting to see. So, of course, coming up, our very first game will be Auglis versus Obtained. Big game for that one to see who ends up moving through this bracket to tomorrow. And of course, as we move through, the next one up will be the second round of the EU Elimination, our very last team to qualify for our playoffs. And then we take a little break, but we do come back with the North American Challengers Elite, which of course will be North America Winners Round 2, and then again the North American Elimination Round 2. So all that and more to come as we push forward into that one. But of course, I guess that means we're going to have to talk a little bit about our teams for this one. Auglis versus Obtained. Ellen, you said you thought that Team Moon was a little bit of a dark horse, now called Obtained. Tun, what do you think?
I think it's a hard one to call. Last time these 2 teams did play each other in the league, it was a 3-1 win for Auglis. Auglis have been up and down. Obtained have been a little bit up and down. As said, across the board, there has not been any consistency in results. So honestly, Brycey, I don't know. I do not know who's going to win.
That's a very good question. Of course, we've had new maps and a new meta drop on us as well. So let's get into this game. And I believe our casters for this one, it is, of course, going to be Tan and Ellen. Please take us into the action.
Thank you very much, Brycey, and into the action we go. Obtain taking on Auglis, and I think, you know, Ellen, when we look at these two teams, they both, well, the Aug Obtain specifically had a good time of things. Obtained this new squad, very much newly formed, very much a team who haven't necessarily been at that top level. Auglis have been there for quite some time, maybe a little bit of a stutter in this season specifically, but heading into Garrison, they'll be feeling confident. Obtained, last time these two teams played, they won this map up against Auglis. Let's see if they can do that once again here, but it's a very, very closely contested game. Super interested to see who comes out on top.
Yep, and you were right right about that. Auglis, they did kind of have a slow start, you know, but the last couple of weeks, or last week rather, they have been picking up the pace, and like you said, here you go. Let's see if they can actually close this out now. We're actually already working towards that rotation, towards the P2 hill, and they're already set up, trying to make a statement here. They want to win, so early rotation comes in from Auglis, and you're going to start to slowly see, if you take a look, and the back number 3, PD actually loses that gunfight to Vortex. So the rotation kills actually from the side of Auglis. They managed to take those two down. That's a good position for them to get set up for this P2 hill.
Good rotation round from Auglis, as mentioned. And something else just to note as well, of course, a big patch coming through last night, which is potentially going to influence things. Of course, the 7.4U nerfed just a little bit. A couple of the Rs have been changed, although I don't think we'll see things on that side of things. But already Genesis using the MP5, so it's interesting to see if we are going to see more of that as time does go on. As far as I'm aware, though, the inside track here, Ellen, a lot of the pros, or players, I should say, in the EU region at least, agreeing not to go too crazy on any of the weapon changes so far until some proper testing can be done to see what is good. Nobody going to be bringing out any secret OPs as far as we're aware, at least anyway. But so far, so good for Auglis. They're setting up, and it's going to be about a 30-point lead by the time we do rotate over towards P3. They're already on the way. Terrence towards the back. The shots with the 7.4U. That might have killed some people just a couple of days ago, but this time around it is just going to be the gunfight coming on through from Genesis. Can he find a second as well? Well played from Obtain. They're going to lock in P3. That should be a lead change if they can hold on here, Alan.
Yep, 55 seconds left. They have the whole hill here to just comfortably sit and hopefully hold this now. Auglis, essentially, they're going to actually have to flood and collapse onto the hill, and it looks like they're doing just that, managing to take down 3.
What a
Nasty
break.
cleans up the second, and what a break there from Auglis. Just like you said, 35 seconds left. They can solidify this and hold a nice, comfortable lead, hopefully getting close to that 100-point mark. But again, though, kills coming in from Auglis. Josh manages to push out this tool here. He's going to slowly start to rotate and get set up mid. So that was a very good rotation from him. But Obtain, they're going to have to answer back now, getting that green control. And overall, Auglis is looking very comfortable right now on this this hill and this map. And now, as I say that, Obtain takes down 3. But overall, they're playing very well as far as the rotation goes and getting those key kills. And what a beautiful break coming in from them.
Yeah, the initial break was very, very solid. Seemed as if they made that first wave of kills to make their way over towards P4 on top green, but couldn't quite seal the deal, if you like. Harry now making his way. Want to try and get some control if they can, but Obtain seem to be the ones finding the kills. Genesis, Terrence, and PD all combining, but can't quite clean up Vortex, who is lingering around green. The spawns have now switched, and if you're Auglis, you kind of don't mind this so much, but Obtain trying to lock this one in as best they can. It's sometimes quite hard to break, and proving that is Obtain locking this one down. 3 dead. All of a sudden, that Auglis lead is being cut in half. It's around 20 points or so now, but the kills start to come on through. That second one from Nasty was just that. Disgusting from him, finds the third. Good little snap. And that's a good setup for Auglis to break on through, but only 20 points remaining. Moving over towards P5. Obtained not in a bad spot here, Alan.
Most definitely not. Now Nasty just picks up that kill on Genesis. Oh my gosh, he just pinned him. Now trying to stay alive on this bridge. He manages, he's actually on a 5-kill streak right now, so gonna probably try to stay alive here and play for those streaks that actually might be key there for that P2 hill. But on the side of Obtain, they still have control over this point. Now, Nasty obviously was waiting for Harry to hopefully push out the back here. He managed to get this kill, shots on, but Terrence actually gets that kill on Harry, so now he's left alone. Does manage to get the kill on Bressie, still playing for the streaks, and manages to get that artillery strike. And he get that missile now. Oh, and no, he gets taken out by PD, but that was really, really close. in terms of Nasty. But overall, in the side of this, it's very close for both teams. Obtain, they have control of that back spawn, but overall, Auglis is still managing to get some time on that. But both still kind of contesting. Either which way, 15 seconds left. They're going to have to start thinking about that rotation over towards P1.
Rotation starting to come in here as well. Big gunfight won by Brezzy. You do want to lock down the satellite side, of course, for that P2 rotation. Just trying to hold on to this as best they can now as we're going to make our way over in 60 seconds. As mentioned, that P1 has locked itself in there. The points now coming in for Auglis, though, and still around a 20-point lead. We've consistently held this out. I missaid it, actually, at the beginning of the series. It was actually Auglis that went on to win this map specifically last time around, but still was a very close game. Only a 30-point at that. They won this map to close it out on map number 4, 3-1. Can they do that one again? It's about 30-point lead now for them, as they start to build ever so slightly. It was that build from P2 in that they got a hold of, and obviously the breakthrough to P3, that's where they found themselves this little lead, but ever since then it's just been growing ever so slightly. Obtained have been there, but not there enough. Auglis just about picking up time where they can, and the shots coming through from Obtain to lock in as much of it as they can right now. Though 10 seconds towards this P2 rotation. It is Obtain set up. The kills come through for Auglis, and the rotation, though, as said, belongs to Obtain. To spawn out, though, Ellen, it's going to make it difficult for them to hold.
Yeah, and it looked like Obtain potentially could have had that and held that there, you know, but they had the early rotation, but Auglis just coming in hot and getting those trades. They managed to clear out the back. They managed to get control. Now, Obtain is fighting essentially from the front, but take a look at Genesis. He's trying to maybe make his way through caution there. He does get taken out now. That's 3 down for Obtain. They still are fighting this from the front, but they're managing to hold this time. They could be in a good position here because if you notice, there's 30 seconds left on this clock, and they can actually slowly start to rotate towards the P3 hill. But now the streak's coming from Nasty. He doesn't manage to connect anything. And again, 20 seconds left. The rotations are going to start to come in, but not before Auglis manages to get the remaining scrap time on this. Nasty, beautiful plays from him, manages to take down 2, 23 and 8. He's going off right now, and he has a minute and 15 seconds of hill time.
I mean, it just shows, doesn't it, though, the fact that he's picking up those kills, has all that objective time as well. He's not just finding inconsequential kills, it's always influential.
Yep.
Brezzy setting himself up in and around the tank, trying to make this push that's going to come through from Vent Room, go to waste, not quite going to happen. Vortex catches him with his pants down. Once again, Auglis break through far too easily on P3, and it's only going to be down to PD all the way towards the back to try and hold this one down, but we can see the rest of Obtain trying to make their way through. Brezzy trying to help out as best he can. PD's dead at the back. The rest of Obtain cannot get through. Auglis lock in. Another easy break. And Obtained have been quite good on the rotations, but nonetheless, Auglis have broke through far too easily. The shots coming in from Nasty, not quite good enough to clean up a second, but Vortex is there for 2 himself. Really well played by Auglis, not currently getting time on the board, and it's an important kill by PD, especially if you can find this second, but Auglis seem to have that punching power at the moment to get through into these hills, and it's working out well for them. It's nearly a 100-point lead. They've really pulled away here, Ellen.
Yeah, just like you said, Tana, it's crazy because Obtain does have those early rotations in, and here we go, a situation where they do have those early rotations, but Auglis, they're just slaying out. Now the kills come in from Obtain, that's 4 down. Now if they can hold this whole entire time, then they could potentially get caught back up here in the scoring, and hopefully they can hold it down. Brezzy manages to get that nade kill on Vortex. It looks like he's kind of warming up a little bit now, and the hold comes in from both sides, but essentially there's 30 seconds left on this, so Auglis, either they're gonna fight through or just potentially rotate, and it looks like they actually are. Nasty and Vortex looking like they're going around to the back, kind of trying to play a pinch on the hill. That's the key. Pinch the hill, don't flood, you know, not everybody single person flood from one lane, and they do just such a good job of collapsing on these hills, and they did just that. They managed to get 8 seconds of scrap time, not too bad, but overall they're not in bad spot. This hill is kind of tricky, you know. You can play it from the front, you can play it from the back, but either which way, as long as you get those key kills, which they have been doing the whole game, they're doing just that.
That 8 seconds of scrap time, though, does put them within 15. Every single second that they get in this position just puts a dagger into the heart of Obtained. Shot's going to come through, though. Nasty finds another 2. He's on a 6 spree right now. It's about to be a 7 as well as he finds Brezzy. Will get traded out. That was 7 kills in a row from Nasty, which is a good reason as to why that transition to P4 and P5 was looking good for Auglis, but Obtained just about able to hold on. Bricks control crucially with Obtained as well. Can they continue to lock this one down? Brezzy with an important kill. He's give his position away. The pinch comes through. Harry finds one. It's just trading backwards and forwards, but it's going to be Terrence to find the final kill. 15 seconds to go here as we head over towards P1, and things starting to get a little bit more interesting. It's only a 40-point game or so, but Auglis were nearly 100 in the lead not too long ago. It's been a 60-point swing over towards Obtained as we head back over towards P1 here, Ellen. It's do or die for Obtained.
Yeah, only 11 seconds left on this clock to win for Auglis, but like you said, it's do or die right here for this P1 hill, and it looks like Obtained does have control over it now. PD's on that bridge, laying out. He manages to get that kill, but he does get taken out. Now Genesis, the trade's coming back and forth, but Auglis overall have control on the slaying power. Now Bressy's in a bad position now. He has to fly in there. Essentially,
5 seconds.
There's only 5 seconds left, 4 seconds left now, and the contest comes in. He has to wait for his teammates to stay alive, maybe bait a little bit. Terrence manages to get 2, but again, there's only 4 seconds left on this clock. There's 25 seconds left on the hill. So either which way, if Obtained does hold all of this time, then they're gonna have to start thinking about that rotation towards P2. That's gonna be the question.
The problem is they need they need to lock in every single second. It's only 4 seconds for Auglis to win. There's the kill feed, lighting up blue, and there's game number 1 going over towards Auglis, and that was the problem for Obtained there. It's so close for Auglis. You can't rotate early to make sure you lock in those points. And Auglis, they just linger around. They don't even think about P2. Fantastic stuff from the Auglis boys, and I think this is sort of the catalyst of what wins them that game, is that multiple time breakthrough to P3. They did it not once but twice, where a full setup coming through for Obtained. Auglis saying no, and they get that rotation far too easily. So winning map number 1, Garrison Hardpoint going over to Auglis once again in this matchup. It's a favored one for them, and they'd be feeling happy going into games 2, 3, and possibly 4 and 5, knowing they've taken map number 1. But I think, we have to look at Auglis from the sense of that they were, of course, one of the number 1 teams last season when it came to that normal standard play. They got themselves through to that playoff bracket in day number 2 of the playoff week that we're in right now, over automatically through the table. They finished 2nd overall. They want to continue having that high level of play. We've seen them time and time again look like one of the more consistent teams, but across this Elite Challengers season, Ellen, they haven't necessarily looked that way. Going up against Obtained, they want to be that consistent self that we've seen from them so many times.
Exactly, and if you're Obtained, if I was a part of Obtained, if you're Obtained, you can't necessarily be upset with the position that you are in right now, because regardless, like with being a newly formed team, here they are making a statement in the Elite Challenger Stage 2, and like you said, Auglis has been a team longer. They have more experience. They know exactly, they have that chemistry there, right? And this team, maybe, I don't know, like you said, they had early rotations, which was kind of weird, but they lost those gunfights, right? So overall, with this team, I feel like you don't want to necessarily beat yourself up about it, but hopefully work to fix those mistakes, watch some VODs, and come back and win strong. But those key gunfights, oh man, they had early rotations. I think what was that, 3 or 4 times, but they lost those gunfights on the rotational kills.
Yeah, it's one of those things, if it's all very well rotating early, but you need to be able to hold your lanes. You need to be able to win those gunfights. Rotating early puts you in the best position to do that, but if you can't do that, that's the struggle. And I think if you're Obtained, that's maybe something that you have to go back to the drawing board with, have a look at, see if you are holding it correctly. Is everyone got everyone covered from different angles? That's kind of where things can falter, but in that case, it does falter for them. There was a couple of occasions that they should have not allowed Auglis to get so many points, and that close game that we've just had, which was about 40 points, it could have been the difference. That's a 20-second hold difference on one hill. That's the difference there. And twice they give away P3 rotations far too easily, so that's something they maybe want to look at when it comes to Garrison. But map number 2 going to be coming up very, very shortly. That's going to be Checkmate, Search and Destroy next. We'll then head over towards Raid Control, and Raid, once again, best map on the game, no doubt about it. Moscow and Miami, if we do need it, at maps 4 and 5. The way Auglis are playing right now, though, who knows? Let's be honest with us. But Checkmate, Search and Destroy coming up next, and I'm not too sure if you got any particular thoughts on either one of these maps here, Ellen, but I'm just having a look at the stats that we've got across the board for Checkmate, Search and Destroy. Auglis 2-0, Team Moon 1-0, so both teams undefeated in Elite Challengers Season 2.
Yeah, and that can, search and destroy, obviously. It can go either way. I was trying to see which team potentially looks maybe more consistent on it. I was
I
gonna
mean, both teams are undefeated
say,
across.
yeah, on this
They've only
particular
played
map.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've only played it twice, Auglis, and of course on the side of Obtain they've only played it once, but still undefeated nonetheless. So both
Right.
teams feel confident on it. I don't think either will be too disappointed that it's in the pool raid control, though. I do know it's a good map in particular for Auglis, so interested to see how that one rolls out as well. But should be interesting. I think you made a fair point about Obtain, the fact that this is kind of a newly formed roster. We haven't seen much of Brezzy whatsoever this year. I mean, that was the very first game I've actually cast over him so far, and he's one of these players who, especially in the French scene, has really been near the top. Of course, that French scene somewhat has had its eyes fixed on Hydra. Of course, we will get a chance to see him for NYSL Academy later on this evening, but not quite yet. It's time to watch a different Frenchman, of course, this time around. And this Frenchman will need his team to do something here in Checkmate, Search, and Destroy. Just another pointer before we do jump into this map, Ellen. Of course, the patch change comes on through. We actually seen an MP5 there. As far as we're aware, we're not going to see too many changes tonight specifically. What is your sort of take on it? I'm not too sure if you had a chance to have a little look with any of these other weapons, but the 7.4U being nerfed has to be the biggest point in there, surely.
I honestly, I couldn't tell you, because there's just so many guns that are getting, adjusted, and that you can see are kind of the AK-74 for you obviously is getting weaker. So I'm not exactly sure. It's just hard to say. I guess they kind of just they kind of let us know, right?
There was a lot. There was a lot.
There was just so many changes. I was just throwing my hands in there, and I'm just confused. But
well, that's the thing. We probably would have seen some other weapons maybe be tried out. A lot of people talked about the Milano, etc., etc. But the 7.4U there, the MP5 still there as well every now and then. 7.4U though at range, not necessarily working as well overall, and being shown that from Vortex. Dave, get out the game. There's an important one going on here. Nasty and Josh, though, finding the kills, and all of a sudden, the defuse can start to roll in. PD now. Last alive. Nasty will find the kill. And that is now a very, very easy to retake once again. And same old story, Ellen. It's a setup comes on through from Obtain. The bomb's down. They lose every single gunfight when defending an objective, and that's something that needs to be looked into. 1-0 to Auglis.
Yeah, Auglis is definitely on fire right now. Even if they did have a little bit of a slow start first week, they're making a statement today, and it's showing. Especially Nasty right now, who just started off 3-0, and this is just it's crazy, because I really thought. I mean, I don't know. I thought Obtain would throw up a little bit. I mean, they did throw up a fight first round, but I mean, I'm just hoping that they don't let this get to them, and they just come back and hopefully give us more of an outcome. You know what I mean? But either which way, we're hopping on board now with Auglis. Nope, Obtained on the defensive side, and you just have PD kind of hanging out here. This is still kind of the same mojo here. You just slowly work your way towards B, but A is obviously the harder site to plant on, and it looks like Auglis is actually going to make their way over there. And PD might actually come in contact there. Might see somebody. It's just a patient game.
Not quite. Oh, good shots by Genesis. Sorry, will be taken down. Auglis still trying to make their way through. Just waiting for another kill to be found here by Auglis, and maybe they can start making this push now. Will those bullets allow a little bit of a distraction to come on through? Yes, it will, but PD's the one to make the move in and around A. It's not a typical one that will come on through, but he sensed the moment was there. And Vortex is able to equal the odds, though, as Nasty finds another. So now a 2v2 all of a sudden. It's going to be Brezzy and Terrence. Left to try and defend this one. Auglis went for the switch. Vortex is ready for that push to come on through. But can Brezzy stop this plank coming on through? Not quite. Yes, it does go down. All of a sudden, it's Vortex left to try and find Brezzy. It's a 1v1 that's going to be coming in here any second now. Is he going to find him? Big gunfight, and Brezzy wins it. And Obtained will level it up here and Search and Destroy. Big plays from Brezzy. A big 1v2.
There we go. When I watched this team play, Brezzy was definitely my team, like my player to be like the MVP. He went off against Passion. Every time I see him, he pops off. He's like an entry SMG player, and he usually gets those key kills. And I expect to see some fire from him right now, if you will. So actually, now we're hopping on board with Bressy. Managed to actually miss the bomb. It's okay. I'm curious to see if we will see some A pushes, because normally you just do see B aggressive B pushes, and sometimes we've been seeing A, but for the most part, it looks like Obtain is actually going to make their way towards A, and this PD actually managed to get that first blood on Harry, and then Genesis on the flank. He gets one. Can he get the other? Throws a nade out, but that was a quick round. PD and Terrence just clean up those 2 kills there. Great communication from them, and that's the teamwork that I've been seeing. So hopefully they can keep that up. See how it goes.
Yeah, it's one of those though. The teamwork comes through in terms of certain moments, but then it seems to falter from Obtain. Of course, just to mention as well, their S&D win ratio at this moment in time is only 33%, just a tick over. So very much Hardpoint being their go-to. Won 70% of their Hardpoint maps, but showing that it really is up to winning those Hardpoints. The lose map number 1 doesn't necessarily put them in a really good spot heading into maps 2 and 3 here. Shout out to all the community guys doing the stats right now. Thank you very much. We love that. Bryce is just posting in here. He's like, look what Jono's... Shout out Jono for the stats. Shout out Shift for the ones he's been sending through as well. All the boys coming in clutch. Love to see it.
Feels like Christmas.
Goes now? No, yeah. Like Christmas, but stats. It's pretty boring Christmas if that's what you're getting, but Auglis now trying to make this push through, but Brezzy once again not having too bad of a game at 3-2. Just gonna answer back though. This looks like an A hit potentially, something we do not see. And checkmate, search and destroy. Oh, Vortex has got around though, far too easy. Can't quite find the second. I think Genesis must have looked away just a second for Brezzy to fall, but now a 2v2. That bomb is going down at A here, Ellen.
Nasty manages to get that plant off.
It's a hard one to retake.
Yeah, and this I like this play from Nasty. He got the plant off now.
Just trying to stay alive towards the back here. Nasty comes round, helps him out. Should be traded. Genesis now in a 1v1 for Josh. Spots him as well through the boxes. Can't quite find it. 22 seconds to go. Early defuse starting to come on through. Josh hasn't read it. This should be a defuse coming through for Obtained. Nicely done by Genesis. That's going to be 3-1. And that's one of those that you would expect a player of the veterancy of Josh to pick up on, but an instant defuse comes on through as soon as Genesis finds that first kill onto Nasty. Very, very well played. 3-1 now to Obtained.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a good play that Nasty was making there, but then he managed to get taken out, and then that left Josh in a pretty bad situation. But now on the aggressive side, it's gonna Obtain. Last time around, they played this super aggressive, and Genesis managed to actually flank around behind. So it's gonna be interesting to see if Auglis can actually stop that push and actually read that this time. So they're gonna actually have to switch it up. Now Vortex. Patiently waiting. He knows it's coming. There's the projectiles coming in, but that beautiful trophy saves him.
Yeah, Auglis could do with a couple of rounds here as well, though. Not looking great for them.
Wonder if Harry just spotted him. PD just jump peeked back there. I think he did. Comes through. PD manages to take him down now. That's 2 down. Now, this leaves Nasty in a really nasty situation. 1v3. Bomb is down, but they're actually going to go for the plant now. Manages to spot Terrence. He does get a couple shots into him, anticipating somebody coming out on that wing there. Obtained. They get the plant off now. Nasty knows where 1 is. And he knows probably the other 2 are in there, so he's going to try to push for this. He does take out 1. Can he get the second? He does get a couple shots into him, but looks like he actually ran away. PD ran away with his life. Now 24 seconds. He still does have time to get these kills, but he knows where 1 is.
Oh, if he wins that gunfight, it becomes doable.
Yeah, that was close.
I tell you what, he did very well to that point, though, Ellen, has to be said. but still not enough, and that's another round over towards Obtain. I said their S&D really has not looked great by any stretch of the imagination. They're finding themselves some rounds here, putting them in a good spot, and this is arguably one of the better modes for Auglis as well across the regular season. 50% of those S&D wins, and I mean, that's said, you know, Hardpoint wasn't necessarily leaning towards them either at a 33% win rate. So the fact that Auglis winning Hardpoints puts them in a good spot in the series, Obtain losing them puts them in a mad spot. So we really do think it's going to come down to who wins the Hardpoints in this one, but nonetheless, the Search and Destroy at the moment looks like it's going towards Obtained. Nasty and Josh now in a 2v4 chooses to hold his shots. Nasty's got round behind. This makes it very, very interesting, but Josh going down doesn't. And there's 2 kills going to come through for Nasty and Obtained with another round. 5-1 now. And a sensational spot to tie the series up.
Definitely a good spot to tie it up, and man, Nasty needs some help. I think there's someone that doesn't have a kill. I don't want to point it out, but maybe.
Point it out.
I think it was Harry. But Harry's still, hey, he's one of the best ARs in EU, okay? I know Harry, he just needs to wake up a little bit. It's okay. It's all right. Auglis still can come back and bring this back. Get your head in the game, bring the momentum back, and take it round by round. That's essentially what you have to do here. But it's really hard when you got someone like Genesis going 8-4 now. Yep. And the aggression and the level of aggression that Obtain has been playing on these search rounds has been almost perfect because, you know, and
oh wow.
First blood through that. Bressy manages to pick up the second. Now this is not looking good. There's the third. Harry's down, and it looks like someone might have left the game, but I think that's it for this one. Obtain manages to take this to tie up the series 1-1.
If anybody's leaving the game there, it's Harry on a 0-6. Not the usual scene from him.
No.
Gets picked off there, and that will be a big map win for Obtain. S&D, as mentioned, has not necessarily been their forte, but they do take this one away, tie the series up. Of course, this is in the winner's side of things, so either one of these teams do still have a chance to qualify for tomorrow's playoff bracket. Of course, it's kind of like a little bit of a Swiss system. You win 2 before you lose 2, and you will advance on to tomorrow's games, where, of course, we will have Passion and El Galacticos, the former Rams team, in there ready and waiting. At this moment in time, they're one apiece between these two. And to be fair, Alan, you know, looking at the stats based on how these two teams' hard points have been going, we probably would have expected that one to go over towards Obtain. We probably would have expected the Search and Destroy to go to Auglis, but we flipped these ones around. We're kind of on the level playing field now, heading into Control.
That's correct. Yeah, Auglis was a little bit slow with the hard points in the beginning, and like you said, we kind of flipped because that's just how this game goes. It could go either way, right? You just never know. It's unpredictable.
The two of us playing well on the day, to be honest with you. That seems to be where we're at the moment.
Or in this case, better. No, I'm kidding. Better internet. No, I'm kidding. It's a little bit different. It makes you wonder though how differently these games would turn out if maybe we were in a LAN setting. You know, how differently would these teams be?
Yeah.
But overall, nonetheless, they're still doing pretty good. Better than me, that's for sure.
You know, look, I would love to get back to a LAN setting as well, don't get me wrong, but at this moment in time, we can't. COVID says no right now, hopefully. We will be back to a scene where we can go to a LAN setting, of course, very, very shortly. I mean, I'm hoping next year. That's where I'm at now. I would love to at the end of the year, but nonetheless, let's see what's going to happen into map number 3. Both these two teams, even at the moment. As I said, we kind of expected Obtained to be leaning towards that hard point, but Auglis take it, and Obtain taking the Search and Destroy when we expected Auglis to take that. So, nonetheless, the series is still on a nice edge as we head into Raid Control in just a second. We will at least see Moscow and possibly even Miami Search and Destroy as well. Any thoughts after the first 2 maps, Ellen? Which way are we leaning? I think it's a bit more difficult to decide now. After map number 1, I was fully in the Auglis camp, but losing that Search and Destroy has really put things on the back foot.
Well, looking at the stats from both, and I feel like Auglis would potentially take this one because I think they are actually a better control team. I think overall in control they were like 6-2, I think. But then on the side of Obtained, they did beat Los Galacticos 3-1 on raid control. So you got to look at it that, you know, champs from last season, they did manage to take down, but they have struggled more so on control and S&D over hardpoint. So it's just one of those things, you know, they didn't necessarily, again, they haven't been a team that's been together for so long. So maybe more time that they have together, they will get better, as long as, you know, they don't split up, of course. But looking at this on paper, it is hard to say, but I feel like, and I'm not saying they got lucky against Los Galacticos. Trust me, I'm for Team Obtain, but I'm for everybody. I want all of them to win. But Auglis, I feel like overall stat-wise, they seem a little bit more comfortable. So I feel like on this raid control, I feel like Auglis actually will manage to take it out. They seem to be a little bit more consistent, more comfortable with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's easily Auglis's best game mode at a 71% win percentage. So I mean, it's definitely leaning towards the Auglis side. They have looked better overall on control, whereas for Team Moon, or sorry, now Team Obtained, it was their worst mode. S&D and control really not looking good for them. They really have relied on those hard points and then stealing one map away to lean in their direction. So now the situation for them, they win the search and destroy after losing that hard point, probably an unexpected scenario, but you want to try and grab this control, stop an S&D map 5 coming on through. And that's going to be the difficulty though as we head into raid. Super interested to see who takes this one away. I mean, I don't know if did you answer the question? Did you think Obtain's going to win this one, or do you think Auglis? I can't remember you answering the question. I feel as if you sat on the fence a little bit.
I was to say, is it 4 a.m. right now? No, I'm kidding. I think Auglis will, because overall I feel like they're more comfortable when it comes to control. They've had a little bit more time together. They have a little bit more chem in terms of this game mode, which is essentially needed. And I really feel like they are going to take it right here. I think they're going to take this one. Auglis. That's
a big B hit coming out from them immediately. It's a strat we've seen a lot of the teams come up with, but they could have done with winning those secondary gunfights. Not going to work out this time. Genesis all the way from behind. That MP5 from range does the business. And Genesis will consistently try to just be a thorn in their side at this point now. Terrence expecting the push to come through. Doesn't win the second gunfight. That will be going over towards Harry, looking for a second himself. Up top, not going to be able to find anything in. That initial push is shut down from Obtain, so they'll be more than happy with how that one's went down. And, well, Terrence has just beamed Petey in the middle of the map. Bizarrely, looks like that one came from stairs. But nonetheless, I think if you're Obtained, you're relatively happy with this start. You've defended well. But right now, nobody with any presence over towards A. It's going to have to be a retake from them.
And I just want to point out the fact that Nasty has stayed alive in their spawn like the whole entire time. After they actually had pushed through the middle, he was actually over there trying to be a nuisance in their spawn to help them capture B, but obviously his team fell. But he stayed alive back there. So he's still alive over on the B site, which is obviously harder to take. But obviously, they're gonna rotate over here to A to capture A, get that extra time, and then hopefully make their way into back laundry, which they're doing right now. We're hopping on board with Harry. And the bad thing about blocking this laundry spawn, though, is they're gonna essentially spawn either on the point at B or, you know, somewhere over there by poolside. So they need to quickly rotate over, get these kills, and get the cap. But on the side of Obtained, now they're set up on top pool. So either which way, I think it looks like they know. Auglis knows. So Vortex manages to pick out that kill. That's 2 down now. And they're going to get this cap. But I know Vortex knows that someone's over on that pool side. Like, they're missing somebody. They have to be calling that out. And shots into PD, he did anticipate that. But Auglis, overall, they managed to, I think, get almost a quarter of a tick there. They're in a good position to set up on that B push. And then the kills come in from Obtained. Great defensive plays from them, now clearing them off the point.
There we go. They do clear them out well. Pushing Auglis all the way back. Now this is a hard push for Auglis. You gotta find everybody that could be lingering at any point, and that's exactly why we're seeing them push around Statue's side, and that's an easy kill gonna come on through for Terrence. He will get cleared out. Nasty just needs to take his time with the rest of his team to maybe find some kills on the other side. Not gonna happen. Genesis following up with a kill onto Harry. So Auglis back to square one. Only a few lives remaining, make that even a few less. As both teams trade kills, it's 1 life, make that 2. Advantage over towards Auglis. It was nearly 3, but Petey keeps his head, but it will eat for much longer. Look at this push coming through for Auglis now. Obtain, nobody can die. Brezzy drops, he's not respawning. Really good spot now for Auglis to try and lock this one in. It becomes a game of S&D for Obtain, but they need to try and find the kills. They do so. That's 2. Only one respawn remaining for the side of Auglis. That's going to be nasty. That's going to be coming back up. It's a 4v2, but the time is not on the side of Auglis here. They need to get going. PD can even find one in the middle, switches guns at the wrong time. But if you're Auglis, you need to get inside the hill. Terrence in a 1 versus 4. Auglis, and I mean just get round number 1.
That was so close. Josh like slid in right there at the last second. So good plays from them and keeping composure. And like you said, that was just so close there. Overall, Auglis, I feel like they're doing a good job at slaying and getting set up, but at least Nasty was. I feel like Nasty was lingering in their base the whole entire time. But overall, the kills came close. It was close for Obtained on this. So I definitely feel like they've been watching VODs and doing their homework and studying and overall looking a little bit better. But Auglis, nonetheless, it's a hard team to beat. They were second place in stage 1, and now here they are coming in stage 2. Slow start, but overall they're looking pretty good today. Now on the side of Pain, we have a push, but Auglis, as I say, they're looking good. They get 3 down now, and this is gonna be a good position to push up towards their base, but Obtain knows that, and they actually cleared out Nasty over there on the pool side, and it looks like they're gonna rotate over and push towards B.
And the problem is here is the fact that, well, actually very, very well read by Terrence. They started making the push over towards B, so Nasty automatically pushes around Garage to try and help out from behind, but Terrence reads that very, very nicely. You can see he's still keeping an eye on the back spawns. That will now recycle. His teammate PD is there. Then everybody else respawn, and we'll keep an eye on that. But nonetheless, Auglis start pushing up, but they don't know Genesis is in behind at Kitchen. And now the push through towards B going to come on through. Josh needs to stay alive as long as possible. Vortex will find a kill in towards Courtyard, but Obtained has started to camp up inside of Kitchen. This is a good spot for them to be in now because they can just keep them away. They cut the head off the snake. The push comes through. Is that just a bait for the switch as Josh and Vortex combining well? PD is there. The lockdown money, though, all this time is ticking over towards B for Obtained. They're about 2 ticks on the way there. They keep continuing to find the kills. You have to be careful, though, if you're Auglis. You don't want to give up A as well. B's not in a good spot. The live's not in their favor either. Obtained looking really, really nice in round number 2.
Now hopping on board with Bressy, who's going to push around through this one. And they know he knows where they're going to be spawning. He does manage to get that kill now. He doesn't want to block that laundry spawn. Hopefully wait for them to spawn back up there. So he's in a good spot. They're in a good position to get up A, but Josh just managed to be annoying in their base, cleared out a couple people. And now, if you want to spawn trap, this is the spot to be in, but he does get taken out now. Obtain does manage to take down 3, looking to be in a good position to hopefully potentially hop on that A site. Now Nasty just trying to counter with the defense here. He does manage to take out Westy. And has that mid-map control, which is very important actually for this map. And Genesis manages to get that kill right there. Now that's 3 down, and they're capping A. They're in a good spot right now. Obtained to clear this out and win this round, and there's no respawns for Auglis. That's it.
That's it. The round's done. Obtained a rent. And they take an attacking round fairly handily. It's really well played by them. I think it's just that push towards B, isn't it? They set it up well. They find the kills on the outside, and then they get aggressive. It's Genesis in the middle of the map. He goes sort of undetected. Auglis maybe get a little bit overzealous with the push up, and all of a sudden, they're getting shot in the back. They now don't know where everybody is. A little bit of chaos in their spawn, and just like that, Obtained have a hold of B, and it's an easy push over towards A eventually with the lives in their favor. They can afford the trades. They had the time. So we head into round number 3 with an Auglis attacking round now. Obtained, can they defend a little bit better than the previous round where they lost out fairly easily? It's a big push from Auglis over towards A.
This map is so strange. I feel like if you win your defenses, you win the map. Because essentially attacking is a lot easier. And you can see that. Obviously, both the rounds they lost were defensive rounds. So if Auglis can manage to just keep winning that or win one defense, then potentially they can take it. But overall, nonetheless, now we're hopping on board on the attacking side or the defensive side with Bressy. Knows that Josh is over there. He does manage to take him out, but he gets traded out by Vortex, who takes out 2. What was that? What a shot!
That's the nerfed 7 for you, yeah. It was at range as well, technically. A is going to go over towards Auglis. That was disgusting from Vortex. Trying to make themselves a threat over towards B as well. I think it's the hallmark of a good control team is one that they know they have one side of things and they just start to chip away, start to knock on the door on the other side of things. Don't just all move as a unit all the way through. They try and sort of stick somebody in there in the middle just to cause some problems. And, well, Obtained looking to defend from the attacking side of things towards the mansion, of course. They're kind of just looking for Auglis right now, struggling to find them, but through the middle is going to be one kill.
I was going to say, I think both teams kind of know,
That's a
like,
big kill.
They both run each other's, like, you know what I mean? Like, both run opposite sides. They both kind of are looking for each other, but nonetheless, Terrence manages to get that kill. And, like, that was very important there. Now he can clear that point, but definitely harder to capture B, I feel like. But nonetheless, Obtained is anticipating these flanks, and Genesis just did a good job cleaning that up. But Nasty cleans him up. Now, this is actually a good spot for Auglis. They can actually play a pinch right here, which is looking good. Dressy does manage to get the defense, though. Now that's two down. Gunfight. Two down. And Harry with a huge two-piece, though. But nonetheless, 14-13 lives are close. 14-12, excuse me. 50 seconds left on the clock.
Auglis have a little bit of real estate here to try and push forward. They get a bit of control over towards Kitchen, but they need to win the fights. Petey and Terrence, they're the ones who come out on top now. Nasty left all alone. Kills will start to come on through, and look at the flood towards Pool's side from the side of Auglis. No more messing around. The lives remaining belong to them. That advantage might just make the difference. Keep an eye on number 7. Brezzy making the push all the way around behind. Genesis will win a gunfight in Kitchen, but Auglis are starting to tick towards the win. Kill starting to come through from Obtained. Vortex will find one inside the money, though. But look at this pinch coming in from Obtained. They got control of top bedroom. They're in a great spot to try and defend this one. 23 seconds just about to tick in on the clock here. Auglis need to start finding some kills. They can't quite do it. It has to be a clean break from them. Obtained finding the kills, and that might just be the round, Ellen.
It might be it. 4 lives to 6. 11 seconds left on the clock now. And Obtained. I said it. They needed to win a defense, and it looks like they might just do that. And wow. Good stuff from them now, leading 2-1 on this against Auglis. That's not an easy task to do. So, congrats to them and winning a defense. Because, like I said, I feel like it's harder to win defense on this. I don't know. Maybe that's just me in league play. I just feel like defense is harder. Offensively, it's easier to cap. But overall, they played a very good defense side there and just managed to hold their own. That was very good. Collapsing on the point. I noticed that, you had Bressy going around in that pool side and played patiently. He played his life. He didn't sit there and seek kills. He just waited. He waited for his teammates, and they did a very good job at executing that round.
Let's see then. Can they find themselves an attacking one to close things out here? Control and S&D has not been on the side of Obtain all season long. Have things changed? Because if they have done, they're heading into map number 4 towards their favored game type with a lead of 2-1. Needing to close it out on map number 4, but here we go. Obtain with a really good start. They're going to get a lockdown inside of A as well, expecting the push from behind. Well played. We're going to lock in at least 1 tick here. Make that 2. There's Auglis now trying to set a bit of a pinch to maybe just defend the B push here, but they know they can't really give it up so easily with so much time for Obtain to make the push over towards B. It's a fantastic start to round number 4 from Obtained. Can't quite keep it going with Genesis, but that's a long, long time to defend B here, Ellen.
Yep, they have 2 minutes to capture that, and that's really good if you're Obtained right now. Essentially, they can't. Nasty here, he's holding the middle. Essentially, you don't want to give up that mid push because then that's all they'll do is flank. So that's a good job as far as holding this down, but it looks like Terrence and Bressy managed to quit that laundry. And Harry, anticipating that, does get taken out now. This looks like a collapse. This could be a collapse for Obtain onto this point as long as they win these gunfights. But Auglis in the defensive side manages to take out 2. But there's still 2 alive. Genesis coming on the flank. A little bit too aggressive there. But nonetheless, Auglis did a very good job at stopping that push. It looked like almost Obtained could have had that. But overall, Auglis doing a good job. Now Petey anticipating does manage to take him out now. And again, they have a minute left. Nasty's on a 5 streak, so it's kind of hard to to push into this point when you got someone like him going off, but nonetheless, it's not going to stop Genesis with the MP5. He does get taken out. Maybe switch back to the 74U. Oh man, Auglis is doing such a good job.
Oh, good shots.
And
yep, they're doing a really good job, Alan.
yeah,
Really, really good job. 50 seconds now. They've just been putting themselves in awkward spots just like this. Vortex never going to have two easier kills than that. Shots in from Josh, though, and probably would have liked to clean that one up. He's going to get baited here, isn't he? Yep, Brezzy will find the pick. Which way is the push going to come through? Well, oh, it's such unfortunate timing. It does get traded out, but Terrence does as well. It's looking more and more like an Auglis round. They've held this for 1:30 without Obtained even touching it. Look how aggressive they are on the defensive side of things. Vortex will find one. Harry will get traded over towards Kitchen, though. And that maybe opens things up as Brezzy finds one inside of Bedroom. Nasty's able to find it, though. And that might just push them back enough. 10 seconds to go. That's a big kill from Harry. They've got to run for the point. It's only going to be Josh inside of Tiki. He's going to go down, traded out. That should be it. And that should be a round number 5 coming up. Nowhere to go if you are Obtained, and that is an Auglis round. Both teams holding on well. And we're going to be heading into round number 5. This one could go either way.
Yeah, they both just had really good defensive rounds, and that's just it. You know, when you're on the side of defense, you push up into that pool house. You be annoying. You try to catch them off the trap right here in Garage, and Auglis did a very good job at not staying back and you know, essentially playing scared. They did play aggressive. They pushed up and they got to where they needed to be essentially to push them back. And they did such a good job of that. And you could see that locking down that pool side and being aggressive in their base, getting up in their face in the Garage. So good job from Auglis. Now, 2-2 though, anyone's game now. The aggression's going to come in, mid push come in from Nasty. But Bressy does manage to take out 2. He manages to get that shot on Bressy. Now Josh there to help out clean up PD. And now it looks like on the attacking side that the Auglis is going to push towards A. And I think Obtain might actually give this up. Looks like they actually are giving it up.
They do. Yeah, they do have time to make the push. The problem is here for Auglis, though, is that 3 members committed towards the back. So it's a very slow tick. It's a very, very slow tick, and that's going to give Obtain maybe a chance to gain some control. But if you're honest, you'd rather have control of your spawns, and that's what they've kind of went for here. And now Auglis will start to make a little bit more progress a little bit quickly. That one is going to be locked in 2 minutes and 10 seconds they're going to have with an ever so slight life advantage to make this push over towards B. But look where the stack is here, Alan. All the way towards Back Rock, towards the garden side. Big push about to come in for Auglis. Obtained, ready and waiting.
Rusty manages to take down that kill on Josh now, but still, like you said, that's stacked up in the back. Kind of a good position that you want to be in. Collapse on this hill, but PD manages to take out 1. Terrence takes down 2, but Auglis still strong on the slaying side now. They do manage to clear everybody out, but looks like they're going to actually try to get the spawn kills first. Not as exactly pop on point.
Yeah. Look at PD, though. He's in the spawn on the other side of things. He's already found 2 kills. Eventually will be taken down. Now, this is a good spot for Auglis. They could do with clearing out the mid-map. That's the problem. It always seems to be somebody behind. Terrence is going to get caught with his pants down, though. Vortex through the middle. Can't find a second. Obtained. Just turtling up. Maybe a little bit too much here as Auglis now start to push on forward, but well played by PD. He's been a demon so far on the map. Can't find the 3rd snap. 40 and 25 out of PD. I say that as 3 go down. Auglis in a good spot here if they can hold it on. Josh in the middle is going to find the kills. Harry bringing in the streaks is going to make things even easier. Obtain is stuck inside the kitchen and no way out. The progress starts to come in here. 1 minute and 15 seconds. Auglis are set up, but Obtain need 1 good break. Brezzy with the kill through the middle. Shots from Harry, not good enough as Terrence finds that. The break comes on through. Obtain continue to survive.
And it does look like, too, did they manage? No, they're depleting that tick there. So they only got, a tick and a quarter on that, 1 minute left. So good defensive plays there. Genesis manages to pick up that kill on Josh. Now the push comes in. Bressy's being annoying in that top pool house. He does manage to get some damage into Nasty, but he does get taken out. Now PD on the aggressive side takes out Harry, but he gets traded out. Nasty's still up here alive. Now the push is going to come in, but there's 40 seconds left. They have to either collapse on this or just push straight from the front. And looks like Nasty is going to push to the front. He's on the point. Terrence did manage to take down who that was in Kitchen, but overall Obtained, they're in Kitchen, they're kind of trapped
Progress.
the pants down, and yeah, they're capping it easy.
Yeah, that's done. Auglis take round number 5. And the difference there is they have the artillery. You can see Josh in this position watching the flank that comes around behind. The artillery comes in. It means Obtained have to force back after they clear them out of Mansion side. Then all of a sudden, it's an easy walkthrough. You can set yourself up. You know they have to come through either money or the jump up, and all of a sudden, that is game. And Auglis will take that one 3-2 and take a 2-1 lead in the series. Obtained, if you're in this game, though, you're 2-1 up in that one. And it's one of those, isn't it? You've taken your defenses all the way through, but Auglis get it done when they need to the most and take that one 3-2. It's a 2-1 series lead for them now, Ellen. You feel as if they're well and truly in the driving seat here now.
Yes, yes. And again, it's not like these games are complete blowouts, though, right? They've been so close. 250. What was it? The 250 to 211 something the first round, and then this one is bring it down to the 2-2 round 5. So either which way, 225. Okay, 225 to 250. So either which way, it's not like they're completely getting blown out. So I think you said this next map coming up. This is Obtained's favorite hardpoint map. So
well, just hardpoint in general is, to be honest with you. Auglis is struggling hardpoint, and when you're on the Obtained side, they've looked really good in the regular season. So hardpoint is their mode typically, but the lost map number 1. Honestly, throw stats out the window at this point because so far it's kind of not made too much sense outside of the control map. So it's hard to say who's going to take this one. But if you're based off how the series has been going so far, you'd probably put a banker on Auglis to go and get it done, but it's really, really hard to say. Look, if you look at players like Harry and Nasty, the way that they played at map number 1, it makes it so difficult for Obtained to try and find a win. But we're going to be heading towards Moscow, which is typical hardpoint map, heavy rotationally favored. But looking at how things have worked so far, Auglis with a 2-1 lead. As mentioned, Moscow hardpoint coming up in a second as well. We may need Miami for a map number 5, but I don't know. It really could go either way this one. As said, if we do see that typical hardpoint game coming out of Obtained, they could force that map number 5 here.
Yes, and I feel like if Obtained does win this Moscow, I feel like if we do go to Miami, that they might come out on top with it, because they just seem like one of those teams that, once they get going and they get on fire, they just keep going and nothing stops them. And that's why I said that they're kind of like a dark horse team, because they did 3-0 Los Galacticos, who is, the champs from stage 1 and a really good team. And then they did almost beat Passion, who is 7-0. So you look at this team and you think on paper, all right, their stats may not show. I think map count, they're like 14, 15. Well, obviously now after these 2 games. But either which way, like I feel like with just being such a newly formed team that they could be potentially the ones to bring down Auglis. But it could go either way. You just never know. Ton, you just never know. Exactly. You said, throw the stats out the window. Let me just throw these away. Either which way, nonetheless, both teams are very good. And now we're hopping on board with Moscow Hardpoint.
There we go. Into Moscow Hardpoint. It is Obtained on the favored side of things to kick things off, of course. I'm looking forward to see if we do get a chance to see Apocalypse this evening. Had a little bit of a chance to play myself through league play and whatnot, but it does seem a very, very fun map. Interested to see how these teams have developed on it. We didn't get to see it a great deal.
I think
what we're going to see here. Yeah, not very often. Not very often. But Auglis managed to flip it here. No. Auglis managed to flip this one here. That's a big, big moment. Just at the start of this game. Auglis get those rotations over towards P2. Can they lock them in, though? These final few kills could be influential towards that. They are going to still spawn there. Nobody getting points in the middle. Auglis with an ever so slight lead. So we head over towards P2, but they are entrenched deep. Nasty could do it staying alive. Will go down, so Obtained have a chance to make this push through.
Auglis looking very good on this side, early rotation, but the kills are coming in from Obtained. PD manages to take down 2. Now Genesis is trying to push in through the site, but on the point, even though Auglis is still spawning in the back, they are trying to hold it from the front, but Auglis manages to take down 3 now.
Again.
And again,
7 and 3, Ellen.
He's 7-3. Yeah, he's on a 3 streak, and Vortex just managed to pick up his first kill. So they did all of this work 3v4. It's crazy. 20 seconds left though on the point, and you're gonna start to slowly see that rotation come in from Obtained, who's already set up on that P3 hill. So now Auglis, they're gonna just get this scrap time comfortably, slowly start to rotate, and look to get into these engagements and hopefully win these rotation fights. And now Genesis is anticipating that push. So on the side of
They
Obtained,
rotated quite late.
yeah,
They rotated very late, if anything.
yeah, all of them.
So here we go. It's a slow one from August, but it's just the start of the game. You know, you don't need to necessarily waste any of that potential scrap time. Take up a lead as best you can. Harry with the first kill, though. Genesis is going to find 2. That's going to slow things down as well. And Genesis is really being dominant so far. That's 6 in a row from him. 8 and 5. Harry has said 9 and 3 with a 5 streak of his own. He's just knocking down this right-hand side, maybe working on towards some streaks. Genesis, though, is he going to get pinched in? No, it's just another free kill for him. 7 in a row now. Artillery locked in. Looking for some more as well. Harry is the one that he has to look for. Then Nasty finds 2. How's he found the second? Disgusting from him, but nonetheless, Obtained have picked up every single second they could have possibly wanted here, and will find themselves in the lead heading over towards P4.
Yeah, in this rotation, they're definitely earlier a little bit on it. Vortex is here. He knows that they're there, though. Getting naded, trying to stay alive. It looks like he taps it, trying to bait him. But overall, for both teams, it looks kind of like the waiting game. I believe Harry's he's 7 streak right now, so I know that he was playing for a streak. He manages to pick up both, and he gets that. This is why this guy is what is he, the top AR in EU region? Because that's why right there. You see that 10 kill streak for Harry now. He does manage to get both streaks. Auglis managing to get the time right now. The contest comes in, but the kills are coming in now. Terrence finally does take him out. 19 seconds left on this clock. We're going to slowly start to see the rotation over towards that P1 hill in the middle. And overall, Auglis, they didn't manage to get too much time there. Like I feel like both teams on that the P4 or P5 hill didn't get that much time. But overall, Auglis is looking really strong right now. Harry's still going off 15 and 4, 16 and 4. And this is looking really good for Auglis now, setting up on this P1 hill for this first rotation.
Yeah, and just something I'd like to point out, it was a really, really nice flurry of kills that come through from Harry there at 16 and 4. It's an impressive start line. But you have to question the fact that Obtained picked up 50 points on P2, but he's on P3, I should say, sorry, but he's continued that streak all the way from P1, P2 to P3, then P4 without dying. But Obtained picked up 50 points, so I mean, it has to be one of those things where Harry maybe needs to, you know, okay, yeah, so he could potentially be playing towards streaks, which could be very, very important on this map, but you have to question that point of, is it worth allowing Obtained so much potential control that he could have helped with? But he is going to go down there again, looking towards this rotation, over towards P2. It does belong to Obtained right now with 10 or so seconds to go. They're going to be in the spot that Auglis were in last round, but nonetheless, have a look at the score. It is about a 70-point lead for Auglis, heading over towards that second rotation of P2.
Yeah, I see what you mean there. Just not having that map presence sometimes can really deflate your team. Yep. And like you said, they managed to get 50.
They value the streak small.
Right. And in this case, it looks like for Auglis, yes, they are winning, but Obtained does have control for this P2 hill here. Now the collapse is going to come in. Harry working this street side here. 2 kills come in for Auglis, and he knows that there's only one person in the back, 2 in the back actually. Genesis manages to get that kill. The split spawns are coming in, but overall Auglis is still managing to get this hill time. As I say that, Genesis does get that kill, but the trades come back in. Now the rotation's going to come in, and overall on the side of Obtained, it looks like they did manage to kind of get some points on that hill, but overall, they have the early rotation. Auglis still manages to get that scrap time, and they have streaks to worry about now.
And it's difficult, isn't it? But Genesis without artillery as well is going to be something to keep an eye out on. But, you know, Auglis are definitely calling this in, no doubt. Be a good place to do it. Is he going to call it in, though? Yep, there it goes. Missile coming in. It's at least going to potentially kill a Brezio, at least give that information over. Here comes the artillery from Genesis, though, just counteracting that one. Can he find anything with it? The push from Auglis needs to be aggressive as Genesis does find 2. But who's going to end up coming out on top here? PD could do with staying alive. He's going to get pushed out from the back of the library. Surely bad timing there. But ultimately, Obtain still hold on from the front this time. Auglis now in a better position to break this one down. And if you have Vortex, you walk straight past a couple of players. Can the rest of the team clean it up here? Not quite. Obtain still locking on to P3 here. And they picked up, I want to say 90% of their points from this hill alone. So if you're Auglis, you maybe need to look at that one. But this run towards P4 is going to be influential as we head over towards the street. Auglis still with that one streak in the back pocket. Obtained are the first ones here, but look at the lead. Auglis, about 50 points. Harry still with that artillery. That will help potentially break this one if they need it.
Correct. Still on the side of Obtain, they do have the hill time for this, but the kills are coming in from Auglis. It's hard to hold down some time when you have Josh, Nasty, slaying as they are, and Harry, and overall now Auglis does have control over this point, and Obtain, it's kind of looking scary for them. Yeah, it's looking scary for them because overall, Auglis is just easily... They look very comfortable right now. And Obtain, if you've noticed, it seems like they were fighting the hill point from the front over the back. So it's very hard when you have those early rotations, but you're not winning the key gunfights. And overall, Auglis is still holding this. Yep. Harry locking down that street. And 7 seconds, the rotations are coming into that P1 hill. And nonetheless... Auglis is just looking so strong right now.
Yeah. Again, it's the same story. Outside of P3, where Obtained have actually held it beautifully. Every other hill has been a case of Auglis breaking through maybe a little bit too easy, especially over towards P4, but that's 4 dead momentarily. It's going to be a foot race to the middle of the map. Auglis about to hit 200. Obtained a good 70 points away. Now, the hard points, as mentioned, have really been the bread and butter for the side of Obtained, but can't quite get it done here in this series. Auglis looking really, really solid. They do have the rotation over towards P2 and Obtained to counteract that, looking to pick up a good chunk of points here. 22 or so still on offer. The kill's going to come through from PD. Can he find a third? Not quite. Nasty is there to trade that one out and will back on down, but that's allowed Obtained to garner a few more points, and it will still be a solid 50-point difference as we head over towards P2. It's actually Scrap going to Auglis, but where's the fight over towards Black Police Station going to go this time?
Looks like Harry now is holding this down. He does manage to take out Genesis, who was on that early rotation. He did get 1 kill, but he does get taken out now. Auglis looking good to capture it and hopefully win it here, and then that's 2 down now. That's 2 down now. They can win off of this point, and it looks like Harry does get taken out by Terrence, but Vortex gets that kill. And now, only one spawned out though. Now they spawned back there. Obtain spawn in the back. So now this is not really a good situation for Auglis, but overall they do have still quite a nice lead here in Obtain. The trades come in, and now they have control. 23 seconds left on the clock. I think Auglis might just say, hey, you know what? You can give them that time. Let's just rotate, because it looks like they're actually doing that. And Nasty is the only one in the back there at that old P2 hill. So now it's just kind of being the race for that, going over to this next P3.
They go by Brezzy wins the first. All of a sudden, look at those split spawns that are going to come in. Auglis going to spawn out towards P2. They may well continue to spawn out here as well if the kills start to come through from Obtain once again. If you're Josh, you need to play your life, and he's done so fantastically. Fantastic kills coming in from Josh. Can that trade come through from Vortex? Yes, it can. Spawning towards the back. Not going to come through here for Auglis quite yet. They need to get rid of Genesis. It's a solid hold. It's 5 points away. Obtained are not close enough. Auglis, we'll see you tomorrow in the playoffs. They make their way through with a 2-0 record. And Obtained will have to do it the hard way in the losers bracket. Auglis seal the series 3-1. A very, very solid performance on Hardpoint, which has been their mode they've struggled with. Not today. They want to bring that form into tomorrow.
Yeah, they certainly will, Ton, and you are correct. There will be Auglis moving forward in this competition. Still a few teams left to go. Of course, it's not going to be the last time we see Obtain. They will have another shot at it in the lower bracket as well. And before we get too much back into talking about that game and how everything broke down for those two teams, I am kind of keeping an eye on my other monitor because the other game is currently ongoing and it's gone to a map 5, Connect 4 and Elite 2. are going the distance. Currently, Connect 4 are leading 4-3 on the Search and Destroy ton.
I mean, that's a close game, isn't it? I mean, you'd expect Connect 4 to maybe do a little bit better there. They have been up and down, but as I said, across the board, it has been up and down, hasn't it? Every single one of these teams have had losses you wouldn't expect, maybe had wins you wouldn't expect based on those losses. So it's hard to really get a good sort of theory of who's going to win it, because, I mean, look, I probably would have favored Auglis in this game against Obtained, but you wouldn't have expected them to do it with losing the SD and winning the hard points based on how the season's gone. So at this moment in time, it just seems that everything chopping and changing. You got the patch to contend with as well. It kind of throws predictions a little bit out the window, to be honest with you. It's quite hard to really put a pin on which way we think this one's going to go. So at this moment in time, nothing would surprise me.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's why we have to just keep a very close eye here. Lots has changed over the last few weeks. And, well, this afternoon, as we've just spoken about, there has been a patch change come in for some of these weapons while we're seeing MP5s and so on and so forth go through. But one of the big things I do need to say is it's great for Auglis to kind of push forward to get back into that playoff position. Second place last time around in Challenge Elite Stage 1. This time around, a little bit more difficult with the changes that come through in the gun meta. It seems to have affected them maybe worse than they were expecting. Ellen, do you expect Auglis to maybe still come top 2 in this one, or are they just a different team now?
Gosh, it's so hard to say because they were struggling a little bit in the beginning and then they got better. You know, that, like, I don't know, maybe that was the meta change. Maybe it was the XM4, you know, being thrown out the window. Maybe everything changes so much, especially lately, you know, now with the new patch. So it's really hard to say because you still have Passion to worry about. You still have Los Galacticos to worry about. And apparently Elite 2 that's beating Connect 4 right now or you know, contesting surprises that you don't normally see that, you know, we weren't expecting. So it's so hard to say, Bryce. I don't know. It's
no,
so hard to say.
I can't fault you for that, really. Not at this stage in the game. Like we said before, right? Things keep changing. Reading through some of the stats, you know, we were talking about the last season to this season, and I don't think Josh has done as well in the main AR role. I think he may have switched out for it because he just wasn't getting the results he kind of wanted to the season before. XM4 to Krieg and everything. Obviously, that was one of the things we mainly talked about last time around that we saw Auglis. And you are right. They are no longer the big fishes in this pond. They are now having to go against, you know, Passion and Los Galacticos, who have had much better seasons than they have. I'll be very much looking forward to see how that all goes together tomorrow, whether or not Auglis have been improving slowly but surely over the season and can actually give them a game here. And you are right about talking about this game being very, very close. I do have it up actually on the other screen at the moment. Currently 5-4 to Connect 4. It could potentially be the very last round, but they are trading back and forth on Express S&D. And I believe that's one of the main things we are looking for. But before we get into games we can't see, let's talk about things we can. Here is the schedule for everything coming up. Of course, Elimination Round 2 is what we will be covering next. And that will be obtained versus the winner of Connect 4 and Elite 2. It's an elimination game. So what that means essentially is the winner continues on and gets another chance to go into playoffs. The loser of this one will be eliminated. So we say goodbye to one of those teams and hello to our second round. Of course, then we take a little bit of a break. We warm up for the North American winners region in round 2. And then we see our second elimination round in North America as well to fill out our wonderful playoff series for tomorrow. And at this point here, we are basically just waiting for this other game to end to figure out how the rest of our schedule is going to go. And I am currently just keeping an eye on it as the dying seconds of this game, which is one of the reasons we can't bring it to you on broadcast, by the way, because it is a little bit ahead. So it may actually already be over. We're just waiting to see the results for it. But let's play a little game while we do then. Tun and Ellen, predictions for this one, since I can see it. Who do you think is going to win, Tun?
I would side with Connect 4. I think they've looked pretty decent over the season, had some good results, had some bad results as well. I think Connect 4 would take it. Okay,
Ellen, are you going to agree?
You know, I just want to agree to disagree. I'm just going to say Elite 2. Even though I might think it's Connect 4. I'm just going to say it's Elite 2 just because Tun said that.
Well, I can confirm right now that it is now around 11. It is, in fact, a round 11 that is occurring on the score here. Pretty much everything is coming down to this very last round. And I'll be honest with you, at this point, I'm a little bit lost for words because I am just trying to figure out who's going to win this one. And it is quite exciting. Being an elimination game, and I'll try and give you a few updates. Of course, it is live, of course, on another YouTube channel. I'm sure you can find it on Twitter, all the links for that one, and so on and so forth. And just to give you some context, I believe on the attack right now, it is going to be Elite 2, and they get... it's gone down to a 3 versus 3. I don't really want to radio cast this one too much, but I'm very excited to see what actually happens. Huh?
Yeah, I was going to say, are you going to start radio casting?
I was going to say, you could put your megaphone on.
I am tempted. I am tempted to
Put your
radio
megaphone
cast this
on
one
and
because the thing about this one is obviously while we are watching this game go down, I'm a big fan of Call of Duty and have been for a very, very long time, as we all are. So it's one of these things where this basically determines who we get to see next and the storylines for all the games we've got coming up. And it has, of course, come down to a map 5, round 11, because why wouldn't it do while we're waiting for to go to break and come back into the next one as well? And it's still going on. 30 seconds left, and it's still 3 versus 3. Dave, though, in a great position, sees 1, sees 2, and that could be all over now, as Dave has sunk Elite 2's dreams, as Rafi's left in a 1 versus 3, a 1 versus 2, but with only 17 seconds left to go, I just don't think it's at all possible to make here, as he has to go for the plant. And with 2 seconds left, that will basically be game over as he gets shut down by Joe, and it will be Connect 4 who move forward into our bracket. Sorry for the late for that one. We are just waiting for it to end. So there we go. We will see our next game coming up right after this break. Don't go anywhere. Kansas Elite Stage 2, Obtain versus Connect 4, coming up right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to the Call of Duty Challengers Elite Stage 2. My name is Bryce and we're bringing you even more action from the European region. This is our elimination game. We're about to say goodbye to one team and the other team will be gloriously lifted into our playoff bracket for tomorrow. Of course, we have every bit of action that has happened so far. And if you are just joining us, this is how it has gone down. So, Obtain started off against Elite 2 with a swift 3-0, only to be knocked down by Auglis 3-1 in winners round 2. On the other side of it, we have Auglis taking down Connect 4-3-1 themselves, and going forward to our playoff with their 2 wins in this bracket so far. Connect 4, on the other hand, had a map 5 round 11 against Elite 2. Very stressful game to get into their second elimination round. They have to do it one more time. Obtain and Connect 4 will be fighting for their lives right here and right now. Ellen, this is going to be a close one. Lots on the line for these two teams. Of course, getting to that top 4 guarantees you get into the next season of Elite.
That's correct. And when it comes to these two teams, don't ask me who's going to win because I have no idea. Because, I mean, you look at Connect 4 and you don't think, like, I mean, I didn't think it was going to go to, you know, almost a map 11, you know, 5-5 search and destroy. It's so, what's the word I'm looking for? The adrenaline when it comes to that. Hopefully they're coming off that win and maybe they'll win this one here. But overall, you can't count on Obtained because they're good too, you know? So it's just don't ask me because I don't know. I have no idea.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, let's see if we can't make our mind up a little bit by taking a look at the maps we are going to see for this series. So we start off with Hardpoint Raid, a personal favorite map of mine. Then we go on to Search and Destroy Miami, Control Raid, Hardpoint Apocalypse. For those of you who may not have seen a lot of this, of course, a new addition for it. And it'll be my first time casting it as well. I do very much enjoy that map. I'm okay at it. And if we get that far, Search and Destroy Raid to finish it off. But that is a crazy map set for us, Ton.
It is. It really is. And you know what? Just to sort of go back a little bit, I'm really glad you asked Ellen the first question of the day, because I was in the lobby with all the players and they started going, cheese, in the lobby. No, I was like, what is that sound? It's all the players as the game started.
It's certainly. Speaking of this game start, thank you for joining us, Ellen. I believe me and Tanner are about to cast this one. Of course, kicking it off, we're straight onto Raid on the hard point and looking down the point of view of Dave.
Well, here we go. I said it's the last chance saloon for these guys, isn't it? You have to get it done, or, well, you're out of the elite season and we'll have to re-qualify, or you find yourself in that playoff bracket tomorrow, of course. But interested to see if we do get an Apocalypse price, because like yourself, I haven't had a chance to cast over it either. Interested to see how that one is going to go between these two teams. I think we'll see it as well. I think they're going to be very evenly matched, and as we head in towards this hard point, it is Obtained with the better of things on P1, the rotation round towards P2 as well, bound to be 4-4.
Yeah, 100%. And here's the thing on this map especially, right? Getting back kitchen spawn and getting that jungle is something that everybody looks for on that P1. Of course, this time around, very heavily for, but if you are Connect 4, you're making the kills towards the back here. Managed to get 3, and they're going to push on the hard side, but they are going to be looking for that last player. Terrence, he's trying to play foil. Manages to get out basketball, but I think they're going to figure it out as well, and Nelson has called that one perfectly.
Just about. 7-4U at range has been nerfed that little bit, although a lot of players saying that they haven't noticed too much of a difference, but it definitely is there. Maybe not going to beam it. The ranges that we have seen, it really could match with the XM4 at Krieg at times, but should be more in line with a typical SMG. But right now, this kitchen control does belong to Obtained. Connect 4 at the back, though, still have Dave. It's been a pain in the behind, if you like, quite literally. Tries to make the push, we'll find one, but we'll get traded out. At scrap time, it goes to Obtained. Big fight over towards Garage should go over towards Obtained, and it does so. That last fight won by PD, perfectly timed. It's a really good rotation. It's a lead for Obtained. That's no doubt going to grow.
It is, and here's the great thing about this one as well. It's so difficult to break this if you don't manage to get a toe hold straight away. When you start spawning out, you basically have to start running gauntlets through Arc, through Zig. It can be incredibly difficult for a team, which is why you see the slowdown in the stack, but they haven't managed to get the first few kills, and they know where they are coming from now. Brizzy trying to do some work around the yellow, but he's not able to get any kills in there either. And Connect 4 are looking now to make a push, but they've got to make a good kill or two coming through. Joe somehow gunning Terrence down inside. Petey and Lenny coming through one more time. And it is somehow Connect 4 who managed to not only get into this hard point, but make Obtain start to spawn out themselves. With 24 seconds left to go, Ton, it's all about rotations where Joe just spawned.
I mean, for Obtain, in the previous matchup, we've seen that their rotations over towards Hills were good. They were made at the right times, but they can never hold, and it just seems as if that is a recurring theme. They get in the rotations, as I said, they're making them at the right times. It looks good when they get there, but it's holding it down that they've had an issue with. Let's see if they could do a little bit better here towards basketball court, as the pinch is what's going to be set up from Connect 4. A slow one at that as well, but Obtain somebody inside of Tiki as well. They maybe shut down that poolside push, but we expect it to come from jungle side. Nelson now thinking about making this push here. Brycey, big moment.
Well, they've got to be careful because they are squeezed in, and here comes the pinch. Already killed it. Oh, never
Too
mind.
easy.
Never mind. And that's the problem, right? They got a little bit contained there in basketball. They weren't able to kind of spread out and get some fights going down. So you had multiple attack vectors, and they just couldn't fight it off. Now they're going to get some points in here. Connect 4 looking like a very well-practiced team when it comes to raid hardpoint.
Last time these two teams matched up, it was a Connect 4 3-1 win. S&D in control going over towards Connect 4, and the hard points were shared, so a close game nonetheless. Obtain, though, I mean, you just have to say, though, they had the rotation towards P3. They've had the rotation to even P2. They had the rotation towards P4. That scoreline could have been significantly better for them, and I just hope, you know, as we do plow our way through this raid hardpoint, that they don't come to regret that one, as Connect 4 have stayed within touching distance. I was just checking the stats, as said, Brycey, and hardpoints being exchanged between these two teams. If you're Obtained, you need to take these hardpoints. We know how much they've relied on this game mode. Right now, they are in the lead, but we need to see more out of them. That lead could have been so much more.
It certainly could, and I also this for Obtain. They do seem to have these rotations pretty well sorted.
Oh,
Connect 4
yeah, the rotations are fine.
Just haven't really. Well, Connect 4 are great at breaking a lot of these setups. They are being let down by that very fundamental thing on hardpoint of get the rotation first. Let's see if they can repeat it, of course, as P5 does come to an end. We will be moving over to ring one more time. You can already see it's going to be all on Nelson right now in Laundry to try and hold off this push coming in from Obtain. Terrence trying to get one onto him. Nelson just staying alive at this point, and he may end up jumping out here if this fight does not go his way. There we go. First player in. Decides I'm out of this one. Well, could go back up. Trying to get that fight as well. And Nelson somehow managed to take two with help from his teammates. Still alive in the Laundry. Nelson doing all the work possible here to try to keep his team in this. They need some good points off P1 and then get that rotation in for P2. But you can see the Laundry stack coming once more time. They want that back spawn.
They want to try and get a hold of it and Obtain. Not being too aggressive with this side of the map, of course, to try and make the push up towards P1. We say that as Genesis finds the kill onto Joel. Nelson will trade that one out, and they've done really, really well to hold Laundry. If you're Obtained, if anything, you know, you haven't let that push come on through. But at the same time, you're allowing Connect 4 to pick up point after point after point. Brizzy has somehow got through, but will fall immediately. Joe finds two, and that's going to be nearly every single point over towards P1, going over towards Connect 4. But Obtain are set up here, waiting for this push over towards back jungle to come on through. Joe into no man's landing. Well, Terrence will say thank you very much. The kill's mostly over towards Obtained, with Linny momentarily last alive, and they will be pushed out. A really good hold from Obtained, and that's what we need to see more of. Rotation's great, holds not so good. Let's see if they can continue to lock this one down towards P2.
Well, here comes the hard break, and the Connect 4 are not in the best position to do it one more time. And this is where it's going to come through. Already come straight through the back here as well. And it will be Nelson again, putting on a bit of his show so far in this game. The stat line really doesn't reflect what he's done so far. That last P1, he got a 5 streak and held them off Laundry. Now he's just got a 2-piece to help break the back of Kitchen. And he's now going to try and push through, but he's all alone by himself. He's going to try and make a hero play, but nothing coming down from him as well. 22 seconds left in this. The rotation's now coming in, and Terrence has slipped the net. He will be sitting back Garage, and already players pushing towards Jim and him. He needs reinforcements to come through. If he stays alive, eventually gets pushed out, but opens a gap for Genesis to try and make a play himself. That shut down. That's the rotation, and Connect 4 now, while only slightly behind, sitting pretty.
Yeah, Nelson really only at 16 and 14, but whenever we've seen him, he has been performing well. One of the standouts over the regular season with a 1.18 KD. Anything over a 1, especially for an aggressive player like Nolson, is not a bad stat line to have. Can he improve that, though? With a hold here at Garaji, definitely add to that KD. Push going to come through the side door from the gym side now. Nolson momentarily last alive. Linny here now about to help. PD will go down, but this time around it's Connect 4 who are broken too easily. The fundamentals of Raid are usually rotate early, hold the hill. It hasn't worked out for either one of these two teams so far. It's rotate early, lose the hill, get it back. It's just backwards and forwards here, Pricey. Obtained are the ones going to be able to lock in this last bit of time, though, over towards Garage. Will put themselves around 35 points away. Connect 4 with this rotation over towards P2, though, will hope to reduce that deficit very, very quickly.
Yeah, slightly different setup here as well. They're going to be trying to hold this back as much as possible, and kitching being very, very important here. However, they are just losing every single kill they possibly can. And look at that spawn out. Linny has spawned back into Jim on the far side of the map. It's all alone now here. And I just don't think there's an awful lot you can do if you're Dave in that scenario. No support, no real sight lines to hold down. It's going to be an easy break for Obtain, and they'll be looking to end this one here, Tom.
Looking to. Should be able to as well. Nelson's gonna go big, finds one. Genesis aggressive push in. Oh, there's a big gunfight. Genesis just gets the better of him, but it's gonna be the constant trades that start to come on through. Connect 4 are the ones getting the points. Obtained very much knocking on the door. They can't win here now, so that's a job done if you like for Connect 4, but they need to hold as many points as they can. It's a big push through the front door. It's Linny with 2, make it 3, not quite. Brezzy is there to answer back, but still Connect 4 get time on the hit board. They would take an ever so slight lead heading over towards P5. If they lock down the rest of the time, they will do. They've got the rotation. Connect 4, driver's seat.
They certainly are, and here comes the big push forward as well. Piddy's gone all the way around to Zig for this one. He's going to spot Dave as well. That has paid off
happened
in massive ways here for Piddy. All the way through Ring, all the way through R, into back. Zig has just picked up that 1 kill, and that may end the game here as now Connect 4 have to make the push. You can see them stacking ready for it as well. Players going down, but 2-2. Both now play into this one, and they manage to get it, but Genesis comes out on top and will be the last one standing. So more points now for Obtain with 10 seconds left. And Connect 4, after all that hard work and all that stacking and all that delaying, have been rebuffed at the last moment, and they just do not have the bodies to get into this one. Obtained will walk away with the first map here, the hardpoint raid going to them.
Yep, that's the one they needed to get under their belts here, Bryce. The hardpoint goes their way. And they deserve it, it has to be said. You know, as said, those rotations really did belong to them throughout the majority of the game, and they eventually do get the payoff from that. But it could have been cleaner. I don't think they'll be necessarily thinking about that themselves now, though. Connect 4, disappointment for them. You have to question that final hill where it did boil down towards P5 is that one break that comes through from PD. They had time to set up if you Connect 4 there. It's one of those things where you need to make sure. I mean, there's 4 different entrances, of course. Mansion side, you got kitchen side, pool side, and obviously P1 statue side. There's 4 different ways to watch. You know, there's only 4 bodies. I suppose you can only watch as much as you possibly can, but at the same time, PD walks through far too easily, easy kill. And as soon as one of those dominoes fall, the rest follow as well. So really, really nice break from Obtain. But if you Connect 4, you've got to say it, you've got to be watching every single angle if you possibly can.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of it, right, you saw probably the early setup by Dave. He was actually Zig right now watching for kitchen and probably would have tried to keep an eye on pillars, but it's not a great angle for pillars sitting in there as well. But at that point, he saw the trades going down and started to move into the hill. Obviously, having no idea that they had gone for this incredibly long flank. Pili had gone basically the entire other side of the map to try and push through there, and just managed to shoot him in the back, essentially. And you are right. It's just horrible when you have to see it. And they made a really good effort, by the way, to try and break P5, losing the trade by just 1. And that's the difficulty of P5 as well, right? When you have that condensed and you have to push, you know you're only going to realistically push in from 2 alleyways. So you have to try and fight in P5. You've got to try and fight the corners on that, as well as the other 2 entrances. It's an absolute nightmare to actually break in. Lots of cover for the defending team. And while it isn't impossible to break, it is certainly something that people do not look forward to doing.
Yeah, well, it's smart from PD, as you mentioned, though, to make that rotation round all the way. A big flank comes through, and he knows, like I just said, it's one of those cases where you break in from one angle, obviously all those guns turn in that one direction, then the push can come in from the other different angles. It's really well played by Obtain, has to be said. On the other side of things, Connect 4, you'll be a little bit disappointed with that, no doubt. But we head into the Search and Destroy. I think, you know, if you're Obtained, or if you're any of the regular viewers of the Elite Challenger season, you know, you realize Obtain are a very, very strong hardpoint team. It's kind of their bread and butter, as I said. Going into the other game modes, Connect 4, those will be the ones they'll be looking to take away. If they can nab a hardpoint, fantastic. They're in an even better spot. But Connect 4 will be looking at this one and sort of saying, right, okay, our S&D and Control are stronger. It's weak game modes typically for the side of Obtained. Let's make sure that we do get these under our belt. And, well, they very much have the potential to do so. Map number 5 they took to find themselves here after losing their first game. It's still a difficult road, don't get me wrong, but I think they would have went into this one expecting to potentially lose map number 1.
Yeah, especially at this point, right? You know that both these two teams are not only very experienced in playing through the Elite, but playing each other in the scrims they've been going through. It is going to be a close game. I said this, when we were talking about the red hardpoint, the rotations that were going on. Both teams obviously super kind of experienced with how to not only break this, but to push through as they need to, because they've probably played it a million times, right? Hardpoint is no longer the hot new thing in Call of Duty esports. It's one of the things we've seen a few times before. I mean, we're going to see Raid 2 more times. The hot new thing this time around will be Apocalypse if we get to it. It'll be the first time casting some professional level Call of Duty at that stage. But of course, that is a very close start there. Hardpoint Raid did go to Obtained. Search and Destroy Miami will be up next. And 2 more raids and an Apocalypse if we get that far, Ton.
Yeah, excited to see Apocalypse if possible. But as you were speaking there, Bryce, I just had a look over the stats that we do have to our disposal, and actually Connect 4's hardpoint win percentage is really, really good as well. So they'd be disappointed to lose that hardpoint, of course, nonetheless. But I think more so to my point, the S&D and Control side of things for this Obtained roster. S&D regular season 33%, Control they only won 28% of their Control games. Of course, Control is one of the game modes that's played the least out of every other mode, so it's the lowest sample size, but still 28.6% is not a good win percentage for the side of Obtained. And obviously losing that one previously as well. I think, if you're on that Connect 4 side, you now look at the Search and Destroy, you look at the Control, you're back in the series in the lead. If you take these, which you probably should, then you're in a better spot, of course. So both these two teams, very well versed at hardpoint. I just want to see Apocalypse. That's all I'm saying. I want to see Apocalypse. We know it's quick. We know it's a very, very good map. And it always seems to be the case. I think if I recall myself back to World War II, then when I think I completely forgot the name of the map now, but when the map from the DLC came in halfway through, it was one of the favorite ones. I remember exactly what it looks like and how I played. The name of it has completely escaped me. This is the thing, every year I move into another Call of Duty and every single map that ever existed before that disappears out of my mind completely.
I know,
but the DLC
thing is, I know exactly
the point
what
is
you mean.
The DLC maps have been good.
Yeah, they have been good. That is a long way to get to that point. You just forget all the map names come through. But I understand completely. There are so many maps, you just completely forget the names you push forwarding into this one. But one map that we do remember, because it just had another one come out, is going to be Miami. It looks like this game is starting. And of course, this is, if you are familiar, this is not the new Miami. This is the old, tried and tested Miami on Search and Destroy. I don't know whether we'll ever get to play Miami Strike in the day. It's a little bit small for competitive, but this one has been around for a while. Now let's jump on board with the attack to begin with. It is going to be Obtained, and it is going to be Genesis.
Let's see how they do. It was Valkyrie. Just remembered. I look.
Brilliant.
There you go. Information. Yeah, the new side of Miami, of course, is an interesting one. We were having a little look today, weren't we, Bryce? It's a bit small. And one of the bomb sites, impossible to attack. But nonetheless, we may see it. On this one particular, though, it is one of those maps that those bomb sites aren't necessarily favored in one direction. It used to be B to a certain degree. Now it's kind of A. I don't know. It's a big kill from Bresido and Bottom Piano. The point is, though, is both the bomb sites very much viable for the attacking team, and that means the defensive side has to be spread. It's usually the hallmark of a good S&D map where you can go to both sides.
Yeah, I think right now A is still the preferred bomb site, mainly due to the fact that B is just a horrible position for choke points. It's just so difficult for any team to really
you lose your first gunfight.
Yeah. And that's why you don't really push it, because you need the numbers, you need the good trades, and unfortunately the defensive team has basically everything in hand. A little bit more open in A when you can make it, but Obtained have made that work spectacularly there in the first round, picking it up with an easy A push. And once it got down, they had the players in position, long sight lines, to pretty much make sure Connect 4 couldn't do anything, and P with the unbelievable knowledge there to make sure he gets that kills.
I mean, he's absolutely deleted Joe there. My goodness me. A killer piece for every single man on the Obtained roster. But yeah, you're right. B is definitely the harder one to hit. It's still viable to a point. It's not quite A on checkmate, is all I'm saying. It's not an easy hit.
Well, we'll see what happens this time around then with Connect 4, and it looks like another A push coming down for them as well. Now, typically on these maps, you do leave one player over towards B Street and towards the spawn to make sure that flank doesn't come in, mostly for the very important reason is that the preferred planting position on A, for anybody watching this for the first time, is going to be on that right-hand side. It gives you good cover from everywhere but that curve of front hotel. So you've got to make sure that one's locked down, or you pretty much lose control of the bomb site in a very viable planting position. But here comes Joe now, trying to get through here into a position. I think Petey may know. You can hear trophies going down from both sides, and Joe somehow trying to get away from it. He's going to go down. Genesis gets one as well. And this Connect 4 push has looked very, very bad. Lenny is flying out to try and bring it back. And may now be thinking, can I rotate out of this one? Teammate Dave across trying to figure out whether or not he's got time to allow his teammate to come over, but it's all down and done as Dave is now in a 1 versus 2 with 20 seconds left. And he's seen a player here, front P2. He now needs to get that bomb and go, though, and he will be shut down. Obtain go 2-0 up, ton.
Yeah, if he gets away there, then suddenly it's a winnable round. This was lovely from Lenny, but not quite enough for the Connect 4 push that came in towards A, which originally didn't look too bad, but ultimately really, really well defended. Obtained search and destroy round. 2-0 up. Nice spot to be in. Let's see what they can do with this attacker. Third round in a row. Wouldn't quite be a nail in the coffin, but it would be a really big step towards having a 2-0 lead here. Which is something that we probably are a little bit unexpected by, but the stun out, just a little bit of information for Brezzy. Push, that means, has now come on through. Connect 4 will have purple control, and all of a sudden you have to consider this push through piano and which way you do want to go. Good defensive hold here by Connect 4. They're not in a bad spot to hold this one.
Wow. Nelson just having a few shots come his way. Keep an eye on number 3, though. Brezzy trying to get this one. There's going to be a purple stack coming as well. Joe, we're watching the back of Lenny. Genesis makes first blood. Joe thinks about moving, but doesn't quite. Has to be patient. It comes out for the challenge, though. Does manage to get that one back, and that is bombed down, which now means Obtain to have to react to it. Don't know whether Joe has seen it. He looks like he's flying out to look for it. Genesis now has the bomb, and then he's backing him up. Checking the corners for it as well. Genesis now down the stairs. At least if you're Obtained, you've managed to get it out.
Transition over towards A is coming because of that as well. They really could do with getting rid of Dave, though, but he's finessing. I don't know if you've seen the clip of him from a game of S&D on Miami the other day. He did very well to slow down the round, but, well, he hasn't done well enough this time, though, as that bomb is down and Lenny is on 1v3.
Well, coming into this one, we thought maybe Connect 4 would be the favoured team. Doesn't seem to be that way at the moment. Lenny trying to make some work here and does get shut down. Obtain now 3-0 up, ton.
Yep, really, really nice spot. It's opened up by Genesis. I mean, that's a great shot. Genesis really been one of the standout players for this Obtain roster for me. Every single time we jump on board to his POV, he's kicking off, it has to be said. The SMG in his hands as well. One of the only players we've seen using the MP5. I do know there's generally a little agreement on the cards tonight, not to use anything too crazy different. Of course, we have seen a lot of changes come through with the most recent patch. The MP5, though, it's, well, not necessarily as meta as the 7.4U, but it's something that was definitely used a lot at the beginning of the game, so everyone knows its power. But a different change-up.
I was tempted to ask you about that, obviously, considering that a patch dropped literally a few hours ago about how the players were feeling about it.
So, I mean, I spoke to a couple of them, and it's the same sort of scenario we had when the new maps came in. Obviously, there wasn't really a great deal of time for the players to practice. Right now, as Obtain just continued to stomp. And there wasn't a great deal of time to practice with the maps last week, so a lot of the players agreed, okay, let's wait until we've got some time to practice on these before we do start bringing them into competitive play, which I like to see the communication from the scene. Same thing happened today. Of course, the patch coming through, quite late notice for such an important one for these players specifically, so they sent themselves, right, let's all just play how we typically play anyway, and then from next week onwards, we will start trying different things out between ourselves to try and find out what's powerful. We were having a conversation with a couple of players today, but I see if I remember rightly, there's a couple of them that look really, really good, so let's see if they just continue using the current meta guns, 7.4U, Krieg, etc., etc. No change-ups necessarily coming through today other than Obtain's S&D looking significantly better. 4-0 at the moment against Connect 4.
It's been 4 rounds, and Connect 4 have only had 4 kills in 4 rounds, so that maybe tells you the tale of they need a full regain here to figure this one out, because this is about as bad as an S&D as you can actually have. Let's see exactly what they do here. Realistically, Connect 4 need to find a way to just get back into their groove and figure out how to play this properly, because nothing they've done so far has worked. Genesis already put some shots down on Dave. Nelson against Terrence, and it looks a little bit more hesitant here from Obtain as they try to split and pick. Nelson could be caught out here if they do swing onto him here. He's going to be relying on Dave to cut down the angles he can be attacked from. Fight going down. Joe turns his back at the wrong moment. That is Call of Duty timing in the worst possible way, but it will go back to a 3 versus 3. And now B-bomb side is clear, but the big push now coming onto A-Ton, and it's going to be 1 down for Genesis. Again, it's looking bad for Connect 4.
So much better, but PD in a good spot. Now a 2v1. Bomb going down. Oh, it's one of those situations for Linny. You snap at it to try and find the kill, but the information now given over towards Obtained. No way they should be losing this one. No, shot's going to come on through. Linny just about getting away. Oh, it's a bad spot. He's dead. There you go. That's another round for Obtained. My goodness me. 5-0. Well, Miami Search and Destroy. I don't know if they found their groove in S&D, but it certainly feels that way. And that makes them so much more dangerous. I mean, we know how good their hardpoint can be. And if their Search and Destroy is up to scratch as well, they become super, super dangerous.
Yeah, this is less of a groove tunnel, more of the Grand Canyon. This is ridiculous. I will say, there are some silver linings for Connect 4, right? They've got more than 1 kill per round that they've played so far at 6.
Yeah.
You know, which is a silver lining, because it's slightly better than they were doing. But now 5-0 down, I'm struggling to figure out any sort of positives for them here. They're going to have to try and make the full reverse on this Search and Destroy. And it's looking like another big A push coming down. Nolson on Overwatch, trying to figure this one out. But Terrence gets first blood onto Joe. Nolson is 0-5. He needs a kill this round as well, at least, if not just to stop the memes coming out. But Dave now crawling up mid-street on his belly. And while he's laying in the dirt here, trying to find Terrence, his team is firmly in it. And there's just nothing. They're just not giving him anything. Obtain refused. Dave tries to make a play, laying down once again. In the middle of the map, by the way. Still, literally nothing happened. Dave in a lot of trouble. Dave eventually going to go down as well. Linny goes down. Nolson now 0-5. Can he at least get off of this donut? That is now the only silver lining that Connect 4 can possibly have. But no, he does not.
Yeah, that's a big map.
They do not. We need to see the stats for that one more time. That was bad.
Yeah. That was really bad. And the thing is as well, it's 6-0, but it's not like a lot of the rounds were close either.
Did they get killed that last round?
I don't think so. I mean, Obtained have literally forced Connect 4 into the Atlantic Ocean. That's pretty much what's happened.
By a long way.
I mean, just while we're looking through 5-0 there, I was having a look to see who the usual performers would be. You're looking at Dave, you're looking at Nolson, both in positive KDs on Search and Destroy. Nolson went 0-6. I mean, what do you want? I don't know. Obtain weren't necessarily playing any weird possessions or playing the game strangely by any stretch of the imagination. It just seemed as if they were winning their gunfights, holding their positions. It's one of those S&Ds you look at, and as a commentator, someone who likes to try and break down how the games went, what's to say? They got smoked. I mean, it's just it's a hard one to break down. Very, very one-sided. Obtained are very much cruising in this game now and find themselves up 2-0 driving seat. This should be done now. This should be done.
You would think so. You would certainly think so. And I was trying to figure out whether or not they actually got to kill that last round, because it would be 6 kills in 6 rounds for the entire team, which is not great. Obviously, if you play S&D, that is not where you want it to really be. And there isn't an awful lot more I can say about their game time. I don't know what to say. Obtain played a great defense in that last round. They were giving them absolutely nothing. Dave, by the way, was making insane plays in that last round. I don't mean insane as in, oh, it was fantastically good. I mean the fact that you almost never see a player start crawling up the middle of the map trying to make a pick towards the back of it. And he had to do it twice to try and make a play to get their team back into it. Neither of them worked, but it was certainly out of the box thinking.
nonetheless, that crazy play is coming from your main AR on maybe one of the most AR-orientated S&D maps on the game. So yeah, it's not where you want them to be. I think at that stage in the game, you're 5-0 down, you barely got a kill to just rub together between yourselves. It's maybe a bit of a head loss kind of moment for Dave in that scenario. So we head into the control, they got to get it done here. Look, based on what we see in these first two maps, Obtained are walking away quite handily with this one. I'm surprised, to be honest with you. Connect 4, they come through, they get that round 11, map number 5, and you think, right, okay, yes, okay, like, you know, we're motivated. That's a great win. I don't know. I don't know if that hard points maybe just tilted them a little bit heading in that search or destroy. If they weren't tilted then, they will be now as they head into control. I mean, we will be going back over towards Raid. Let's see how it goes for them. You know, it is a bit of a swing kind of series. When it does come to that third map, then all of a sudden you're at a brand new map in Apocalypse. Who knows which way that one's going to go? And then all of a sudden you've got to search and destroy Raid to close things out. So things can still turn around here for Connect 4. And, well, based on the schedule this evening, it has been a relatively long broadcast already so far. Let's just give us a map number 5. We might as well. Brycey, we usually got a couple hours break in between the two shows. Let's just commentate all the way through, I say.
Well, I don't think that is realistic even in the slightest, Dutton, but I like your enthusiasm for it as we go into this one here.
I missed it.
I will say, right, going into this one, like, Connect 4, we favoured a few of these, right? But statistically, the control should go to them. But I don't know, because they were down bad that last series. They had nothing going for them.
You know, we didn't see a bad control out of Obtain in the previous series on Raid specifically either. They won both their defenses, forced them round number 5, of course, and then lose their defense when it does matter, so that's not necessarily ideal. But at the same time, they're going up a good control team like Auglis, so it's one of those maps where they could potentially get something done here. You know, we've seen PD drop 43 for the L previously on Raid control, so I mean, if he can do that again, but also not lose this time, it's a 3-0. So it's a difficult one for Connect 4. Nonetheless, I'm expecting a close one, but don't be surprised to see this go to map number 5 if Connect 4 can win it. But I'd be more than likely seeing Obtain win here. I just think the wind is in their sails. Momentum is a huge thing in Call of Duty, and I think that momentum is well and truly behind Obtain.
Yeah, I think so as well. And here's the thing, right? Like, it wouldn't surprise me to see a complete comeback like that. S&D, clearly something was wrong in the Connect 4 camp. That is not what we expected at all. And if you are watching this and you are going to see this in a VOD or wherever, right, it's not the norm. It is a fluke. It is outside of the normal realms. It is not a team that is known for getting absolutely destroyed on Search and Destroy Miami or Obtained are being the best in the world at it. I think it was just Connect 4 just could not get anything going that map, and Obtain played it very, very well. And there was just a big disparity when it comes to the pushes and the defenses. Connect 4 just couldn't get anything going, and they constantly didn't have numbers.
I mean, I'm just having a look through at some of the stats that we have from Connect 4. They only played Miami once. Well, they lost it. They lost it 6-3. So, okay, it's maybe not a great map for them, but they didn't look like a good map at all. It looks like a really bad map, actually. Raid is their pick, and I have to say they're 4-1 on that. So if they can get themselves to a map number 5, then maybe we're talking about a good reverse sweep from them. But it's getting there. That's the problem. We've already seen and mentioned that Obtain have looked good on Raid control. Apocalypse? Well, we kind of don't know because we haven't played it very much. So let's see what happens there. But if Obtain close this one out, obviously it's game done. But if Connect 4 can get this one back, series on our hands, they've still got that win potential, that win condition of that map number 5 coming.
Well, let's have a little look then, because in my mind, Tunt, especially, I am pretty much going to ignore that Search and Destroy, I think. I'm basically going to just put it out of my mind because I don't think it's going to be
probably best
reflective of how I expect this control to go in any way, shape or form. As we jump on board with Pity, obviously, the pretty standard Raid A here coming straight off the break.
Let's see then. They get starting to come on through. Connect 4, 0-2 on Raid control. In the regular season, though. Not stats that are leaning in their favour by any stretch of the imagination. But as mentioned, Obtain's control in general was pretty bad. So let's see how this one does break on down. A push did come through from Obtain. They switch it up. They make the move over towards B and start getting the tick in over there.
Well, That is pretty standard as well, by the way. As soon as you end up losing a few lives, switch out, go to B, you get the better spawn for it, and most of the time you'll have the other team at A. But already Joe making a big push here, trying to get it forward. And Joe picking up 2 kills there to try and shut down this B push. Playing basketball once again, very powerful position for it as well. It's just a player there, and that's the easiest thing you'll see pick up all day long. Connect 4, just wipe Obtained off the map.
I mean, Terrence, field of view is pretty low. I don't know, Joe just walked down the basketball court and killed him. It was strange, but nonetheless, another hit for Obtained over towards B looks likely, but Connect 4 entrenched a bit further up the map. Here comes the push, and well, Dave will find one that'll do him very nicely, but if you're Joe, you need somebody cover in the middle of the map. He thought that was Linny, who now, through money, will not be able to get the hold onto Genesis, and Obtained can get a little bit of a hold on B point here, but Connect 4 ready to counteract that now. Terrence, good shots in towards money. That's 3 dead momentarily. Joe decides to push out, finds one on Terrence, and I'd like him to play his life a little bit more there, but at the same time, captures on B. Very much nearly there to the side of Obtained. This should be B over towards them. Brezzy with 2. Find the 3rd through money window. Not quite, doesn't need to. Beep, secured. 1 minute and 25 seconds to hit A. You've already got a tick. You've already got present. Brezzy on a 5 spree. It's looking good for Obtained on the attack.
It certainly is. Letting B go on this map is never advised. You basically want to try and hold it and get that big defense going through. But Linny managed to get 2 here, but he's got to jump out the window and take them on. That is so unfortunate. He was in a great position. But with that still continuing to tick up, he basically had to sacrifice his life and hope for a hero play. G sliding out of top laundry. And all of a sudden, when we thought maybe Connect 4 were in a pretty good position, Tunt, well, it went. It wasn't anymore. Stop.
Yep. It's a 5 spree from Brezzy that breaks open over towards B, and all of a sudden you're having to defend A, and you've already just all died. So immediately it's a nice quick transition from the Obtained boys. Very nicely done. 7-2 out of Brezzy, 6 streak for him. Let's see if we can continue it. We're looking towards the SMGs on this map for Connect 4. They need to start firing. Really has been Brezzy dominating so far. 7-2. Can he make that any further? Well, no, that tree not going to be great cover in the middle. It's a big B push from Connect 4. And they will set up shop and look to do the same as what Obtained did to them.
Nelson in a great position here. He's going to get that second snapper go through as well. Was backed up by his teammate. And this is a very quick B push. Huge here for Connect 4 to bounce back into this game as well. And you can already see the pitch now starting to come in. If you are Obtained, they are going to try and hold this one down. Streaks coming through as well. No teams like to give go B at any point into this one, and they have managed to do fantastic work for it as well. Brizzy is now going to try and hunt down Nelson. Nelson does get that kill, trying to keep B alive. They know if they can get it, they're in with a great chance of winning this game. Eventually going down, they're going to have to settle for that A push coming forward. But here's the thing, if you are talking about raid control time, and some people don't know this, a lot of teams will give up A. They will almost never, ever give up B due to the difference in trying to actually capture.
I think if you're Connect 4, though, you're going to get a hold of A here as well. I mean, it looks like Obtained are too late for the rotation. You're going to give up A, but at the same time, look at B. If you Connect 4, you've got 1 tick. You need 1 good break. And this round's over and you're tying things up, and they're not in a bad spot to do. They've already got jungle side control. Yes, okay, if you're Obtained, you've maybe got a little bit more cover to play with in terms of defending this one, but Brezzy needs to stay alive there. All of a sudden, it's really down to Terrence to find these gunfights. It's just 1 tick that Connect 4 need. Yes, the spawns are going to come in around the back, but all of a sudden, that time starts ticking up. They're about halfway through. Brezzy needs to find these shots, does so. I'm surprised Connect 4 haven't just stacked this, to be honest with you. Look how close it was.
That's a bit weird.
I don't know why they just didn't stack it. They've got 1 tick.
I think there may be a call coming wrong here. They pushed through or something actually ended up happening for that, but they were in the best possible position, and now it's gone pretty badly for them. Joe looking for one more player around bedroom. They need to get this control back in their hands. And it will be starting at bedroom because you cannot leave players back here. It really does cut down the angles you possibly have. And Joe finds another one. Does he know that there was a third here? That third's actually moved all the way back into their spawn. You can see what the spawn out. There's now spawning Jim. Connect 4 were probably half a second away from winning that time. You are completely correct.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do it. Because the thing is, yes, okay, you don't have bedroom control, but you can only shoot so many people at once. You can get behind Tiki. As long as you have Tiki control, you can hold it from either side. I don't know. I mean, look, for our side of things, we know where everybody is. As Joe starts to slay out in and around bedroom, we know where everybody is. So that does make things easier. Maybe make these calls a little bit easier to do. But there you go. It's starting to make its tick over towards it now. B was about to be locked in there.
I think that was an artillery.
Yep.
Now it's
artillery comes up through.
Yeah. Just numbers. Just numbers in here. Oh, Linny, that may be it. I think Linny, that gunfight will allow them to win, and that was a very scrappy attack, by the way. I was trying to sit here and figure out exactly what was going on, but with kills going through each side, it kept looking like they were pushing on the side. But obviously, things like artillery and mitigating factors meant they kept having to kind of play off it as well. And it probably comes down to the first round where you saw a little bit of a taint just run straight through them. But Linny there doing fantastic work, and it comes in again the best play. But also another one to highlight, by the way. Joe managing to somehow wrest some control back into bedroom. Did a fantastic job in that area to allow them to push through and get into B.
Yeah, did well. I think that was their worry when we were on about why didn't they just stack it, is that push from bedroom. It's one of those, if a good AR with a Kriegs up there and you all run out to B. Yes, there is cover. There's not a great deal, though, at the same time, as I mentioned. It's one of those things. They wanted to maybe clear that out. Nonetheless, though, they will get the round. I just think it could have been a lot quicker. Linny will find 2 straight through Laundry. There's a big aggressive push from Obtain, but they will just be rebuffed for now.
Okay, and now you can see this is where it gets a little bit tense for Connect 4. They know they've managed to get this push out. They're now trying to figure out whether or not they can actually get control here as well. P trying to fight here in the middle. And just not working for them either. They are now getting kitchen control in the hands of Breezy. He's been hesitant as well. Just want to give up this position. They know it's a great opportunity to get B once again if they can. And you can see he's now come around the back. He's going to find Dave. He knows Joe's in here as well. Does get that kill at the same time. And now it is massive for Obtain to get on the B.
Yeah, they need this as well. Lives are very, very close. 40 seconds remaining. Connect 4 probably have one more stab at this, but Obtain have done the right thing here. They've stacked it up. Obtain really holding this well. Connect 4 needs to go. And well, that's back to the respawn queue for now. Brezzy with another streak. 5 in a row for him. Nelson now trying to play a bit of a cheeky spot, as expecting maybe the rotation back through their own spawn for Obtain, but not going to happen this time around. Nonetheless, Nelson can rotate quite quickly. But a minute and 24 here for Obtain to try and make this push over towards A. It's a hit from jungle.
Well, where they've got to try and hold down. Linny trying desperately to hold on to Laundry, but didn't get anything done here. Genesis now floating around the back. Brizzy is going to see Dave. And this is both teams now fighting for position all around the site, but they try to make sure they can get this locked down easy enough. But look at the positioning. I love this. Neither team is really committing to this push ton.
Yeah, it's one of those, it's sort of ringing around the rosy, isn't it? It's about fighting for control, and it looks like Connect 4 are going to get a hold of it. Nelson on a 5-suit, Brezzy now. Both streaks available to his name. And I think it's one of those situations for Brezzy, in this scenario specifically. This is maybe not a bad spot to use it. Very, very big, open, wide area. If you are obtained here, you set up around it. You draw the streak in, or bring it in, I should say. Here it goes. And then all of a sudden, you wait for that push to now come back out from Connect 4. Expect the kill feed to light up, or you need to if you're an obtained fan. PD and Brezzy get the kill, albeit one with the streak, and they will be able to break on through. Connect 4 are forced away. What can Obtain do with this control?
Well, this is chaos now. Brilliant. Trying to get in here as well. Does manage to. Going to try and make sure this flank is secure, but kills now going down for Connect 4. They've got to push forward into this one as well. They have been pushed out by that cruise missile, but they have managed to get some control back. That is a very quick clear. And all of a sudden, Obtained, who thought they might have it there with a streak in their back pocket, have pretty much fallen to pieces. And it should be right now Connect 4 taking the second round here. They managed to get their defense under control and will be leading moving into their attack.
Yeah, that's a very, very big win for Connect 4. And get rid of a streak. And also win the round. Albeit, you know, streaks aren't necessarily as powerful in this game as they have been in previous. But at the same time, take that off the board makes your life that little bit easier. Not less to worry about. Linny on a full spree himself. Can he get anything going, I wonder? But Connect 4 looking good here. Closing it out on a attacking round would be a sweet thing to do as well. It's a big push over towards A to kick things off.
See, Yeah, and already Connect 4 looking to put this one to bed very, very quickly. Should be a quick A cap here, whether or not Obtained actually bothered to swing back over to it. Like I said before, a lot of teams will just give that one up, and that's been completely thrown in the bin. They're not even going to attempt Obtained to try and take that one again here. They are losing lives left, right, and center. And you can see now the beast that comes in. They do have to win a gunfight at some point on this map, though. You can't continue to reposition without winning anything. So far, 6 kills without answer. Eventually, they manage to find a kill and start trying to clear Connect 4 out here as well. And that is the first point gone down, but it could have gone a lot worse for Obtained. They just were not able to get anything going at all.
I think it's one of those scenarios where the big push comes in from Connect 4. You expect the stack at A with it being so early, just get the timer. But Connect 4, they seemed they had plenty of control. They sort of expanded themselves out away from A and put themselves in a better spot to make the push over towards B. Obtained got caught with their pants down all the way around. All of a sudden, Connect 4 were in a position to do something. Rebutted by Obtained so far, and Nelson will find a kill in Kitchen. Joe with a kill over towards the swimming pool side as well. This is a big pinch coming on through, and Genesis, well, needs to do something a little bit special here, staying alive. And Tiki, as long as he can, he's going to go down. Obtained still in the spot to try and do something here. Bressy does well in the mid-map. Connect 4 just can't quite get a hold, but look at the lives remaining. That is a big difference. With a minute and 26 to go, Control looking like it could go to Connect 4 if they play their way around these lives.
Yeah, that's what we've got to do now. Get the correct trades in as well. And a good part of that, by the way, will be putting pressure onto B as well. Look at that hop. Terrence comes bouncing out of basketball, and they do manage to get a lot of kills going down. Joe now playing a little bit slow in the mid here, trying to get some kills back into it. Like I said, trades are important, and they need to figure out exactly how to get them to go their way. They thought they might have had it a second ago, but it certainly did not. No ticks on B at the moment, Ton, with a minute left to go. And while lives still are in the favor of Connect 4, they're going to be worried about how they actually get to B.
Time is not necessarily on their side. The thing is, well, I say that. Only 9 lives remaining on the time side of Obtained now. They could choose to pick their way through those lives as best they can. Just trade out these fights, and that has apparently been nerfed. Let's see if they can maybe do something with these lives. But as you said, no ticks over towards B. It just takes one good break from Obtained here, and all of a sudden the round could still be theirs. Even with this big deficit, there you go. 3 kills going to come on through. Joe now needs to be a nuisance, needs to stay alive. 25 seconds for the rest of his team to find themselves up in a good spot here. Dave has to check every single corner because Genesis is hiding in one of them. Another kill comes through from Brezzy. That should be the round. And look at the live difference. It was significantly worse than that from Obtained at one point. But we should be heading around to round number 5.
Well, there's the last bit. Joe's going to try and get onto it, but it's not going to be enough. Davey's going to have to slide in. He's not going to be able to touch it either. And that is, you are right, going to be an incredibly close game as we now head into round number 5. And we said, you know, we thought they had the advantage, but getting to B is not easy, and it took them over a minute to try and get near it. They weren't able to really slow it down any more, Ton.
Yeah,
and we get to see one more time. By the way, Genesis, that second kill, just managing to take down Nelson was crucial.
I think in that scenario, if you Connect 4, you look at your life difference and you maybe try and play around that a little bit. But they just ran out of time. I think that's a scenario where, yes, okay, even if you're down, what was it, 10 lives or so, maybe 8 or 9 for Obtain. I said that one break comes through, you're fine. That's great. We're fine. It doesn't matter how many lives you have left because they've got to get 10 seconds to get to the hill. Nonetheless, we head into round number 5. It's going to be Connect 4 on the defensive side of things. And they hold on here once again.
Right now, still a little bit of a fight going on around A, but it's also going to be a fight around B. But Connect 4 actually come out on top at both sites here. And if you are Obtained, they're going to be trying to figure out their best control of a tank. I'll tell you something, while there is a minute left in for their first attempt, that does go very, very fast. When it's gone, you start realizing it very, very quickly. But they should be able to get some time onto A now. They have a player there that can at least stop the clock for a second, as well as that spawn driveway coming in. Does mean Obtained will have the advantage.
And taking over to one's A here. Just get it in your back pocket, I think, if you're Obtained, if you can. But Connect 4 not willing to allow this one to go down. Joe playing his life really, really well here as well. Just slows it down as best he can. Liddy, streak comes in. That's 2 big kills. This is huge. That's massive, actually. Force is obtained off it. Time ticking down. They aren't going to be able to jump back on, but control here for Connect 4 will come in towards the B side of things. They're going to give it A up, and thus giving another minute over towards obtained. Get something going at B, but Nolson playing the spawn. There's another couple of kills. They're just causing havoc. My goodness, Nolson. What was that? He goes down eventually, but just pushing Obtain further and further back. Connect 4 in control.
And here they go. It's going to be a big flank coming in from Dave as well. This could pick up a couple of kills very, very easily. Only gets one by the look of it, but he is going to pin them into bedroom. Trying to get a little bit of an AKU action going on, and not able to quite hit the shots there as well. Will eventually go down, and this is a bit dangerous. Connect 4 in a great position, and now they've got to come off the respawn and rush towards B. But Linny is equal to it. Sees one, sees two, shut down. Obtain thought they had something going there, but only Genesis in Tiki is their last remaining fingernail in this control.
Yeah, they've still got 50 seconds or so. They still have time to formulate a decent push. Terrence is going to find Dave in the middle of the map. Dave back up at the respawn. Now what can he do, Joe? Well, how long have we seen him around the scene? Just being a nuisance with his SMG. Well, not enough of a one at this point, though, is Obtain now getting some progress over towards B. That's ticking up. If you Connect 4, you need a good break here, but here come the streaks from Brezzy. That's just maybe the nail in the coffin for this map. And the series potentially, Brycey has Obtained ticket in 3-2. Connect 4 bow out of Elite Challengers Season 2 with a 3-0 loss to Obtain.
Well, Connect 4 are going to be very disappointed with that result. For a while, it looked like they were going to rebuff Obtain on the defense.
This was mad.
Yeah, I mean, Nolson's just done a fantastic game there as well. I think he had a great stat line as well. It was 32 or something for the L in regards to that one as well. But Obtained, on the other side of it, lost that map very narrowly as well. We know they're pretty good at it at the same time. But we will, you are right, Ton, be saying goodbye to Connect 4. And hello, Obtained, coming into our playoffs. Ellen, welcome back for that one. That was certainly a little bit of nail-biting, even though it was a 3-0.
Indeed. Minus the Search and Destroy, which I will say, Dark Horse. Yeah. Okay, Dark Horse. Listen, Genesis apparently has one of the highest KDs in Search and Destroy. He has a tendency to find first bloods. And Pun, if you remember the Auglis versus Obtained match, he did just that. He managed to be aggressive. He pushes through the flank. So the Search and Destroy, I'm not gonna lie, it didn't really surprise me right there. But that control? What on earth was going on? I honestly thought we were gonna take another map. Because right there at the end, I don't know if you guys saw it, Nolson was in the window in money, and he was just about to get that kill right off Bressy, and then he had his help on basketball, and they were about to retake it. I thought they completely had that defensive, cleared him out of the point, but Genesis came in and he got that kill on Nolson. He protected his teammate, and they just flooded right in. So that was just, it was just crazy to watch. Honestly, I've just mind blown. Good stuff to Obtained, and I'm telling you, they're a dark horse. They might watch this VOD back and bring that into the games tomorrow, because they just showed a lot of improvement from the last game.
Watch the S&D Miami back and just do exactly that next time around.
But
sorry, I went on a rant there.
No, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. It was a lot to encompass in that game and everything else. But let's take a little look at our bracket to see how everything has gone down as we say hello to two more teams moving into our playoffs and goodbye to two more teams who have been eliminated from Challenger Elite. Of course, starting off, we had Obtained versus Elite 2 3-0 to kick things off to begin with. Then we had Auglis versus Connect 4. Auglis moved forward. Then, winners round 2 was Auglis versus Obtained. 3-1 Auglis put Obtained down to that losers. Well, they eventually faced Connect 4, who had a very close game against Elite 2, but Obtained, even after taking the L earlier on, did manage to get that W and managed to move forward into this one. Tana, those are two teams you thought we would see moving forward, because realistically, this is now our playoff bracket.
I mean, for me, I thought Connect 4 might move through, if I'm honest with you. Auglis definitely look better in the Challengers Cup that we had at the weekend just gone by, so I expected them to look better than they did in the regular season. They did so, and well, they get themselves a date with Los Galacticos. That's a matchup that's been ongoing time and time again in the European side of things. So interested to see how Passion against Obtained will also be interested, but I think Passion will look at that matchup and sort of say to themselves, right, we feel confident heading into that one. So both teams, though, looked very, very good today and convincingly found their way through, so they'll be impressing themselves to get to that point, and we'll be looking forward to tomorrow.
Oh, we certainly will. Of course, a lot of great games from our European region. In Challengers Elite, we've seen the knockout stage here in Europe. We do get to go over to North America at some point in just a little while. So don't go anywhere. Tomorrow, of course, we will have those last 4 European teams to lock it down for you. But coming up, after just a little break we are going to take, we will have the North American knockout competition. Do not go anywhere. We will see you on Call of Duty Challengers Elite.